I got no chance. Audio podcast. 110 years ago, the Titanic sank and killed 1,500 plus people.
Why is this a fact that you know?
I saw it on the internet.
I was about to say someone's a big Titanic fan.
Yeah. Any motherfucking way. Gang. I'm Styles the Prophet.
I'm B Show.
And I'm Jonesy.
Together with the Basement Weirdos. This is the 4G Audio Podcast. And you already know what it is. Gang.
Hey.
So tonight's episode, fucking happy Friday, like always, you know. Oh, there's me again. I'm wearing the same color sweater there too. Man,
Is it the same sweater?
No, it's just same color. I definitely have a touch of the ADD. But anyways, tonight, special guest. Back for, actually, we were discussing it, third time and once in every different fucking studio so far.
3.
Fletcher G in the building.
What's up?
How you doing,
Thank you
man?
again for having me. Oh man, I'm doing
pleasure.
all right. You know,
Yeah?
considering much, I'm doing okay.
Yeah, man. You were saying you've had a rough start to the year.
Yeah, 2022 gave me 99 problems and I couldn't solve them.
Damn.
Shit, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At least at this point now I could just joke about it because, I had COVID at the end of 2021 during Christmas where everybody got it. It was like wildfire. I got over that. January, February happened. I had a cyst on my neck and it just was like on my vocal cords. And I'm like,
damn.
oh shit, if it gets too big, like something like it can be bad for your health.
Yeah.
In the hospital, I'm on for like 4 or 5 days. I was going nuts. Get over that, my kidney starts to go, and I was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Just problem after problem, and now I'm just happy to like be healthy, be alive.
Yeah, but now you're good.
I'm able to smoke.
Yeah.
Can have a little drink or
So
two.
you said you weren't able to smoke.
Bro, no.
Was it like meds or something?
Yeah, like they didn't tell me I couldn't smoke. I just knew,
Yeah.
smoking would probably be a bad deal if I'm taking all these meds.
Yeah, for
And
sure. Okay.
I'm not like, if I smoke weed, I smoke only sativa, so I'm gonna be up all night. I need a rest.
Yeah.
If I don't get any rest, I can't function. I can't do what I need to do. So I was like, do I want to be up all night like I usually am, or do I actually want to take care of myself and like be smart and be an adult?
Oh, if you needed a
the
better
ladder?
sign, right? Like
Yeah.
that's it, right? When
Like-
everything starts to go wrong all at once, you're like, okay, I think I should probably start
Yeah, right. I
taking
was
better
like,
care.
Take care of number one,
It's
man.
I can't live like I did in my 20s. Now being in my 30s, it's like
It happens overnight, man, too.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's like,
I'm like,
you're in your 20s and you're like, yeah, I'll be young forever. And then 32 hits and you're like, oh,
boom.
damn.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
When-
32 right now.
Don't tell me that. I'm not there yet.
32s, man. The 32
Oh,
hits hard.
shit, man.
It hits
Yeah.
hard. It's just like, bam, listen, whatever you've been doing in your 20s, you ain't doing it no more.
It's true, man. It's so true.
So yeah, man, I'm just happy to be healthy-ish, to say the least.
Yeah, well, that's good too. It's almost like a fucking, it's like a check, like a reality check or like a gratefulness check. It
Yeah,
makes you a little more grateful. I
Yeah,
guess is what I'm
right.
getting
I was going hard.
Grateful.
I was going like, I wasn't drinking as much, but I was drinking.
Yeah.
I was smoking heavy. I was sleeping maybe.
You smoke cigarettes?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Smoking that too. Actually, not as much as I smoke weed. So I was smoking weed. I don't know. I could finish like almost half an ounce in 2 days or in a day sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there smoking. I'm not eating. I'm just making music, going to work, doing what I need to do, making sure I'm on schedule. And you can't. In my 20s, that's what I did. Worked 3 jobs, took care of my kids, wrote, composed, went to studio, traveled, and I never slowed down since. And it catches up.
Yeah,
real
that's
quick.
it. Well, even like you
Yeah,
said
no
just earlier too, it's like you hit a certain age, right? And so it's not only does your health change, but it's also your stamina, or you're like, shit, I can't do the
I can't
3
do this.
jobs anymore or whatever.
Well,
yeah.
even I'd be able to drink, go like when I don't have my responsibilities, go ham. Like drink a 2-6 of like overproof to my face, smoke a few
Overproof.
blunts, and wake up the next day and be like, hey, shoo, I'm good. Let's go out. Let's do this again.
Yeah.
And I can't even finish a quarter of the bottle. I just look at it. I'm like, yo,
That's probably a good thing though, right? Because like I think your 20s are like the perfect time to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
get it out of your
true.
system.
Yeah.
You drink,
you have
drink
that
your
little
face.
bit of
Exactly.
resilience
You
left.
fucking you don't have too much responsibility in your life. Like you're still young. Like fucking go ahead, drink, do your drugs, do what you gotta do. But if you're still doing that once you hit your 30s and your mid 30s, like you got to change at some point, right?
Yeah.
You got to like progress, right? So if you're still living that lifestyle of like, yeah, I just want to party and do drugs and get
Ooh.
wasted all the time, like
Yeah.
no one's
No.
applauding that anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's not like a
it's-
bragging thing that you can do
Yeah,
anymore. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like it's probably a good thing that you can,
It's
you
like,
know, do a
slow
little bit less
down.
and
Growth.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope it's growth, whatever they want to call it. You
Yeah.
know, the one thing I'm not gonna quit is weed. So as long as that doesn't affect how I'm gonna maneuver and how I can accomplish my goals and achieve them, we gonna keep on smoking.
Yeah.
The drink, I don't care as much for it. I did 75 hard last summer.
Yeah.
So I didn't finish. I fucked up like 2 days before my birthday. I got to 72 days. I didn't smoke, no cigarettes, no weed, no drink, no drugs, no nothing. I went clean for almost an entire summer. August came
Shit, and
around.
that summer's fucking.
It was hard.
I was gonna say that's the time when
Yeah.
everybody wants to drink. Shit.
And we went to we went to a festival in the summer, and then I couldn't drink, and everyone's around drinking and this and that, and I'm like, yo, I really want to drink. Everyone's having junk food, so I had to follow a diet too.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, so I looked good though. I'm not gonna lie.
No
I looked good. That summer I looked good. I was
So what was your diet like? Like, what'd you have to?
so I only had meat like once a week. I ate
Oh,
yeah?
Yeah, okay, just real quick. So, sorry to interrupt, but so on that note, once a week, my buddy was like, the other day, he goes, I think that we're meant to eat like animals. And I'm like, what does that mean? And I was like, what? He's like, I think that we're supposed to have the same schedule as animals. I'm like, yeah, but what the fuck does that mean? He goes, like, you're just strolling around one Monday and you fucking find a giraffe and he's
And
like,
you eat it?
and you gorge the fuck out. He's like, and you don't eat until the next time you see a fucking giraffe and you and your friends are able to take it down, which is probably a week or maybe even more, right? He's like, so just eat a whole bunch of fucking shit and then like nothing. But like he meant he more or less meant like with the meat because we were on the topic of we eat too much meat, and I was like, yo, that's actually a good idea.
It's
like,
heavy.
yeah.
That's a lot of protein. You can get protein lock. The same thing the same thing that happens with dogs. You have two. I have two pit bulls at home,
Okay.
and I just switched them to an all raw meat diet, so raw everything. So I was feeding them fruits. I was feeding them carrots, raw egg, some raw meat, and maybe a cup of kibble here
No,
and
your
there.
dog eats fruit? Your
Yeah,
dogs
man.
eat fruit, yeah?
Hell yeah.
One of my buddies, he would feed his dog like the treats for his dog were like baby carrots.
Yeah.
Like that's what he would give to his dog for treats. But like my brother's dog, like no fucking way. Like you could cook like a pepper in all the meat and stuff and whatever, and then give it to her, and she's just like, no, like does not want.
No,
it.
you
She
can't-
knows
you
it's
can't
like a
cook with
child
it.
or something.
You can't cook with it. You have to give it to them raw.
raw.
But even then, they won't. Even then, she won't. Cause
Like peppers, I understand. Peppers are like carrots. I haven't seen a dog say no to a carrot that's been introduced food at an early age.
Yeah.
I've never seen a dog say no to a carrot.
My dog
or-
likes carrots.
Like
Yeah,
my dogs are very worried about broccoli, and I'm like, yo, like nigga, shut up, eat it. Like the same way I'm gonna treat you. You're my kids.
Yeah.
I put it in your bowl. You're gonna fucking eat it. That's it. But we switched them foods to. It's literally like the stick of meat has everything that they need in there, nutrients and all that. Some company in Quebec, some dude in Gatineau was like, yeah, I got the stuff, so you could travel 45 minutes here to come get the stuff. I was like, okay, cool.
I got the keys.
I got the keys, yeah. And yo, I don't have to feed him anything else. It cost me about $35 for about 10 pounds of food,
Oh yeah.
and I feed him maybe a pound a day. So I'm it's no brainer. Why am I gonna go buy a $30-$40 bag of kibble every week? Because my dogs eat a lot. In
Yeah.
retrospect, I can give them this much, and if I give them too much, they're gonna get protein lock. They're not gonna eat for 4 or 5 days. That means I need to give them less. So right now, I'm giving them 2 sticks or 2 little sticks, and it's enough to get them throughout the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And they don't beg for food anymore. They don't all the shedding
But it
problems.
gives them all the good shit they need, type thing.
Yeah, instead of keeping 60% of the nutrients out of the kibble and all that stuff, other stuff I was giving to them, they're keeping 85% now
Okay.
because of the change, and they're going to take less water because I have to freeze it. I have to give it to them frozen raw, so they get the water intake from that. My dog has like 30% less water intake, so I have to take him out to the
It's just
outside
like
less.
Lick the ice cube.
Yeah, he licks. It's frozen solid, so he has to lick it and bite through it, and it works out their teeth too, so it's really good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Shit, yeah, and they like that shit. Dogs like fucking ice cubes and shit, right? So
Right.
like the cold, like
Eat it, please. I'm making sure you look like a tank.
Yeah.
Like right now, he's mixed with a cane corso, so he's very tall and very skinny. And my brother's dog is the same litter, and he looks like a pity. He's stalked like a pity.
Right.
And so right now we're like, let's beef them up, so that way they're like 120, 130 pounds of like strictly built. The dude's house where I picked up the food, I saw this Frenchie, and this Frenchie was built, like, I mean, more jacked than I am.
yeah.
Like walking around like this. I was like, yo, what did you do? He's like, all meat diet, and we go out for hikes in the woods. That's it. I'm like,
It's crazy when you see a dog with fucking like a ripped dog. You
Yeah,
can see like
man.
their muscle tone and everything. Like,
Yeah, they and even actually some dogs can get like a condition where they grow their muscles really big. Like they have some kind of gene or whatever. And so then they look like crazy extra fucking huge. Like it's like their arms and shit or their legs or whatever are like twice as big than as
They're, like, hard to walk.
Yeah,
you know?
like it gets all fucked up, but it's because like of this thing.
Mm.
But yeah, no, I like that though. Even too, like I was like, man, I want to get a Rottweiler. I want to train it and get it to like drag me around in like a little wagon and shit.
Yeah.
And like then it would be all fucking buff and shit, right? Like
Yeah.
pulling me around, like take me to the store.
Have a dog sled team.
Yeah, fucking right. Yeah. But see, and then it would like fucking look badass. But I'd have to feed them these sticks.
You'd have to just raw meat, bro.
Yeah.
Raw meat all the time, and it was getting expensive because I was going to the store and buying it. Right, I was getting it in bulk. I was going to like a butcher or going to Walmart picking up meat. I'm like, oh, we run out of meat. Got to go do grocery run. The grocery run's like $500-600,
Yeah.
and 80% of it's for the dogs. Right.
Fuck, yeah.
Right. I have my two girls that are at my house here and there, so I have their stuff.
Yeah.
Since they're kids, I'm my nephew that comes by the house. My brother's in the house. I'm in the house. My sister comes in and out when she's doing stuff for CBC or NAC. She's in town. She stays at our house. So we have stuff all lined up. But the dogs take majority of the freezer. Take majority of everything. So it's like having two other kids that eat nonstop all the time.
I was saying that last night. Fucking cat, like a cat. If you gave a cat a whole bunch of food, it would just eat what it needs. But then if you gave a dog a whole bunch of food, it'd be fucking gone. Like,
Yeah.
For sure. My dog gets into everything, man. Trash. Fucking,
Oh,
have to
that's
put
the
it-
worst.
Oh yeah, I have to close his bathroom door, before
Yeah.
we leave and shit like that.
sometimes it's like, why?
Always good to know.
How the
all
fuck
about-
did what were they thinking when they ate that?
Oh yeah.
You know,
Man.
that,
I swear to
know-
God, that's literally I think how
I-
my dog is gonna die.
I know that didn't
Chewing
taste
on-
good.
Honestly, man, like
It's stuck in the
so-
intestine or some shit.
yeah, like he eats the baby socks. Like
oh,
so,
yeah.
our son, like if you put socks on his feet, he's instantly just like pulling them off, and he just leaves them, right? So like if you're not paying attention,
Yeah.
the dog will fucking go grab it, chew on it for a little while until it's like a little ball of
then
goopy
tries-
sock, and
yeah.
then chews it and swallows it.
Oh.
And like we've just been sitting there watching TV, and all you hear is bleh,
Yeah, that's what I
you
thought
know
of
what I
right
mean?
away.
Blah. And you go down, there's like a big puked up sock. You're like, oh, you're fucking dumb. You're a dumb animal. Like you're gonna
Yeah.
die.
Your dogs do
Oh,
some
man.
stupid shit.
For sure,
Yeah.
man. Oh yeah, my dog, like, you can't leave any food out on the edge of the table or anything.
Or he's gonna get it.
Yeah, man, anything. I last year, I can't remember what it was for. I had a pack of that Starburst and Skittles. It was for Halloween. Must have been Halloween. And it was like a bunch of, they were all in their own wrappers inside of a bag, right? And he got in there and ate all of that.
No.
Yeah, man.
Wrapper and
No.
everything.
Yeah, like ate all the Starburst wrapper. and
Imagine him
everything,
with
man.
his little paws trying to sit there and be like, let me unwrap this star.
Did he have
Just ate them.
rainbow poops?
Yeah, crazy, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, did you see it in the poop?
You're like,
Colors?
no.
I used
Bricks
to actually.
came out.
I drank this fucking. I used to drink this slush. I think it was called like fucking Dragon something or other. But it was like a sour slush, I think, from Circle K.
Yeah.
And it was green and fucking. But I mean, like I would drink like 2 or 3 of them in a day. And those days that I drank a lot of them, you could tell.
Yeah.
You could tell.
Oh, something's wrong. I'm peeing green.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's a slush.
And actually, fucking one of my buddies. This is fucking stupid topic, but one of my buddies he was at a snowboarding contest. I was there because I was like I had to make sure that everyone had their pass to come in the snowboard park, and so everyone at the top where you like drop in to like start your run. And he's like, oh man, I got to piss. So he runs off into the bush and he's going and he's taking a piss. And he's like, yo man, he's like, man, I drank so many monsters today. He's like, my piss is like fucking green. And I was like, no way, man. I was like, whatever, man.
That's a lot. You have to drink a lot of Monster.
Man. So then later, I think they might have been like fucking giving them away or something. But yeah, and then I went out there later and took a piss. Everyone was going and taking a piss in the bush. And I was like, yo, fuck. I'm like, it's like glowing out of the snow. Like I was like, holy shit, man. Like he's right. Fuck. I didn't think it worked like that, but
Yeah, there's something in those energy drinks, man.
Those can't be good for you.
No, definitely.
No, they're not. But goddamn Red Bull.
Yeah,
Oh,
Red
it's-
Bull's
The
my
Red Bull, if
kryptonite
you're watching,
too.
I need a sponsorship, bro.
Yeah.
I drink too much of your shit.
What's your favorite flavor, Red Bull?
Oh, they have a peach one now.
I was just gonna
one's
say
good,
that.
Bro, the
man.
peach one?
Pretty good. I'm
Yo.
all about that lemon one though.
Yo, you know
That's
what?
my fucking kryptonite.
Lemon's good too.
They actually but they have a fucking
They have like some acai one. That one's
if you
fire.
go to Harvey's,
Yeah.
you can get
Oh, they have a slush.
the
Yeah.
slush.
They have a slush.
yeah.
One of my friends, she was telling me about it because she's obsessed with Harvey's. So
I was
she's
just
like,
there today
too.
too.
Yeah.
friggin', and then she's like, yeah, because I had all the cans in my fridge. I had all the different cans. I had the blue ones, the purple ones, I had the yellow ones. I sound like I'm talking about pills. Goddamn.
Yeah.
Well, I had these pills.
Blue and yellow.
and I had
purple
these
pills.
ones. Oh, these Quaaludes.
Yeah. Oh, the blue ones are good.
And she looks. She's like, Harvey's has a slushy for these, and I was like, no fucking way. And then she shows me, and she's like, here, and I'm like,
You can even get the
Yo.
peach one too.
Yeah.
I haven't tried any of them, but I want to. I see it. I'm like, oh,
Yo.
I want that.
peach. I want to try it. Maybe when I go home later tonight, I'm like, yo, Harvey's.
I try to stay
Hook
away
a
from
brother up.
sugar as much as I can. And the thing is I like energy drinks, like, but the thing I like about them is they're so sweet. It's like it's like a liquid fucking sweet tart, So I'm like, oh yeah, like just so good to me. But yeah, me and my buddy, we went to the store one time and we got drinks and shit, and like we were going on a tour, and we just drive around in the bush and smoke weed, and so we got Red Bulls, but we were trying to get at the store. They used to sell these like, it was like a pre-rolled cone blunt, and you
Okay.
pack it full.
Yeah.
And I think they're called like tornadoes or something or whatever, twisters or something. But anyways, cyclones. There we go.
Cyclone.
Yeah. And anyways, they didn't have them. So then we're fucking driving down the road and we're drinking the Red Bulls and we're smoking a joint in a paper. And I was like, man, like the Red Bull makes this taste good. Like, yeah. And like my buddy starts smoking. He's like, man, it honestly just tastes like a blunt. He's like, man, I think we saved ourselves money. Like, shit. So then, like, that's what we would do from now on. If we wanted to smoke a blunt, was we would drink, like, chug a fucking Red Bull,
Oh.
and then like smoke the fucking thing, just because
Heck
it was the taste in our mouth
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something.
Okay. I can see that.
It was the I don't know. I guess because they were sweet, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They had a flavor. Like the blunts would have a flavor to them, right? So then it would be that same
Yeah,
sweetness, I
right,
guess.
right.
But yeah, so weird. I mean, it was probably also just partially that we were
It's the
just made
placebo
it that
effect.
way. Yeah. We're like, oh,
Right.
really wish this was a blunt. And it's like, oh man, it is a blunt.
I haven't had an actual blunt in like, goddamn, like 5 to 7 years.
What, really?
Yeah, I haven't had a
No way.
blunt.
You had to have had one.
Yeah,
the
I was gonna
first
say
time
because
you're on here.
we used to like every time we
Nah.
on the podcast.
Because I brought the first time I was here, I brought joints too.
Oh,
Right,
And
right.
smoked.
Okay,
Yeah. I haven't had
Shit,
a.
yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of blunts, though, we haven't had a blunt around here in a while.
No, it's true.
Actually-
Actually,
Who we did? Who
Oh,
just recently?
I
Yeah,
know.
it was Ramon.
I do
Ramon?
have it. Was it
Yeah.
Ramon?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, Ramon's known for. I remember him as Art Trips.
Our trips.
Art Trips in Toronto. That's when he first came out. We were all teenagers in Brampton.
Yeah,
and He had a beef. He had a beef with D Pride in
Oh, yeah.
Brampton, and he was called
Oh,
Art Trips.
Wait,
I think it's
fuck.
still on YouTube.
I think we might have talked about this last time. Now you say that because I remember you bringing up the D Pride thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was absolutely funny. They would go back and forth week to week, almost. If D Pride released something on Tuesday, Art Trips was releasing something on the Thursday. It was like
Shit.
back and forth.
Goes
It was the era where So Far Gone.
Fargo. Yeah.
So Far Gone by Drake just got released that year, and
Yeah.
everyone in Toronto was just like on another level about music, and especially in Brampton, everyone was trying to get out. Tory was trying to get out. My boy VK was signed to Shady on a developmental contract, and he was trying to get out of Toronto too.
Okay.
So you just see D Pride putting in work, Art Trips, Ramon putting in work.
I heard trips.
Yeah, like when I saw him, because I watched the podcast and I saw him, I was like, oh shit, I know that dude from way back. Like, what was the club that we used to perform a lot at? We used to do a showcase every weekend in Toronto during my college when I went to Sheridan, and it didn't matter. It was sometimes downtown Toronto, sometimes in Mississauga. We had one on Club on Queen in Brampton, and some girl was it? Yeah, I think it was that one. Some girl rushed Tory on the stage.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we're sitting there. He's presenting. So he's like, okay, it's an open mic. You know the deal. You have your spots, and all of a sudden you see this girl rush up the stage just to go snuff him. And I'm like, yo, we didn't know anything that was going on. We just saw that happen. And later that night, somebody got stabbed and they shut down the club.
Shit.
Oh,
Nothing
shit.
happens in Brampton.
Oh shit. That's
Once-
crazy.
Yeah,
Once
man.
upon a time in Brampton.
Once
Yeah.
upon a time, once upon a time in Brampton, the Taco Bell got robbed in broad daylight,
For real.
No.
and that's for real on Queen Street. That's for real. Once upon a time in Brampton.
Is Brampton the place they're always making fun of on the
Yeah.
internet?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I just know it's one of the like GTA area.
Oh, Brampton's bad. The driving's bad.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you see a lot of accidents.
How long were you there
videos.
again? Like.
I did my grade 12 year in
Okay,
Brampton,
so you were like.
and then I came back here, did a extra
That's
year,
right.
and
Okay.
then I went back to Brampton and spent 2-3 years, and then back and forth from the States in Brampton a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
By the time I was 21, and I
Yeah.
moved back here after.
yeah,
Where were
yeah.
you? Where were you in the States?
I was in Cali for a bit,
Cali.
and then in Los Banos, California.
Oh, shit.
And then we stayed in Arizona for a bit. I stayed like 9 weeks in Arizona. They put us, at the time I was signed to an indie called 20 Entertainment, and they were out of Cali. And they were
Okay.
like, we had Lanos. I'm not sure if you ever seen it. Back in like 2012, Fabulous used to rock this baseball jersey full of flowers,
Okay.
roses.
Okay.
So the guy that made those was signed as an artist to our label.
Oh, sick.
And so we had Lano, we had Miss Champagne, we had V Dot from Tennessee, we had myself, and we had I think it was Tiz and Chuck's from Texas, and they stuck us all in this hotel in Arizona, and they're like, yo, listen, you have to make at least 2 songs a day. You guys are getting your own block for studio time. He's like, you can't go anywhere. This is what you're doing for the 6 weeks. And they're like, if you can't figure something out, you have to go to somebody else's studio and figure it out.
What?
And I didn't know how to produce at that time, so I was like in everybody else's brick trying to figure my own shit out.
Yeah. Fuck.
It was a nice learning experience, and
Yeah, no doubt.
I'd rather do that than spend my money and do stupid stuff in the States. Cause
Blow it away.
yeah, well, they're quick to kick you out.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
which?
the
Are they?
States, the Americans are quick to kick any Canadian out. The minute you
Oh,
do
yeah,
something
yeah.
bad, yo, listen, we don't need you.
Right.
You don't really, you don't really help our economy
Right.
initially,
true,
right?
yeah.
So it's like,
Yo, Tell that to Justin Bieber. Fucking Jim Carrey.
Right, but look at the percentage of Canadians that are in the music industry or in the entertainment industry in the States. If you were to bring them all back to Canada and be like, listen, you can't make any money out there, it still doesn't affect their economy. 90%, at least 85% of all the major actors are American or from another country, right?
Right.
But if we, let's say, solely just take out the Canadians out of it, see, even in sports.
Yeah.
So I know maybe 10 NFLers. Yeah, 10 NFLers. That's
That are Canadian.
Yeah. I know obviously like 5 NBA's players. I don't really know a lot. I know there's more than that.
Yeah.
But like
right. But you are right though, I would say for the most part, other than in the NHL.
Well,
You
yeah.
know, hockey, there's a lot of Canadians.
Hockey is like the only sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, come to think of it.
Oh shit, man! Was that your phone?
Yeah, that was my phone.
On your watch?
Yeah, man.
Fuck, man! Just whenever you looked at it, I'm like, oh, it can't be one of those. Just 'cause it's like,
Fossil has a crazy lineup for watches.
Okay, yeah.
And at Tanger, they always have like I used to have the hybrid, which was not the screen. So this is the hybrid HR. It tells me my text messages. It tells me my heart rate, what the weather's like, how many steps I did in a day. I have
it looks sick too.
Yeah, it looks like a regular watch.
It looks like a regular watch, right?
And that's what I liked.
Yeah.
I have like 6 others that are from Fossil, and they're all the hybrid watches, right? So I can have my group of like 12 people that I, let's say, call or text often, and I'll put them listed 1 through 12. And if you text me, it'll go, let's say you're number 1, you're number 2, and you text me, I'll go number 2.
Right.
And then go back to the time. And let's say you text me after, go number 1, and then go back to the time. And my watch would vibrate at the same time, so I'd be able to be like, okay, I know Styles hit me up because number 2, it went to number 2, and it's not 2 o'clock. So, okay, boom, what's up?
Oh,
So I'd be driving, and my phone would be hooked up to Bluetooth on my car, and I just have to click here twice, and it changes a song. So it helped me stay hands-free.
Yeah.
To say the least, except when people text me now and I'm driving, I'm like, do I want to reply to this? And I'm obviously not paying attention if I'm looking at my watch.
Yeah.
So it's a bad deal. I need a Tesla so I can have everything right there for me.
Yeah, true that, man. Even some of the other, like a lot of new cars have
the whole
big,
screen.
like, tablet
Yeah, even
screens,
so,
you
like
know?
I'm like borrowing my boss's car right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Audi Q5.
Oof.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, you just plug your phone in, and everything comes right onto the screen.
Yo, that's dope.
So it's like you can do your text and like your navigation and all that shit, right?
Oh, that's dangerous.
So you could just
though.
like instead of pulling out your phone and looking at it, like I can just use the dial next to me and like choose messages and then just speak. Like it'll say, what do you want? It'll ask you like what you want to say. So you just talk to it and it'll put
Does
it.
Does it read your text messages too?
I think so. Yeah, I haven't actually used it yet.
Audi,
I just know
you might
like,
be getting a sale from this guy.
Yeah.
You might be getting a sale.
Fuck, mine only tells me my messages, or like reads the messages if I'm in my GPS, and then it goes into like the car mode thing. So then it has the option. It'll come up and go like, "Fucking Fletcher G texted or whatever. Do you want to hear the message?" And
You roll Android or iPhone?
Android.
Oh
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
This guy too. Both these guys. Or no,
I'm an Android.
he came to my side, I guess.
you got a traitor.
I used to fuck with Android when Motorola used to have. They came out with a glass phone before anybody else. It was a SurTouch phone, so the whole phone would be glass. And
okay.
you know how BlackBerry came out with the Storm?
Yeah, it had the...
And a SurTouch, it was weird. Like you had to press down on the screen, actually.
Yeah.
So Motorola came out with that first, and I had this. It was sleek, bro. It was a beautiful phone. It was like this, about this big, and it was all glass. So like, no case for it. They didn't come out with a case for it. You drop that shit, the whole phone breaks. SurTouch, for the time, in like 2008, 2009, it was probably one of the best Android phones I've ever had.
Okay, and it was Motorola?
Yeah. I still wish Sidekick came to Canada.
Man. Oh,
Sidekicks were the shit.
I always I forget where I saw it, man. Like,
Fido had them for a
I
while.
saw it. Maybe it was just commercial or some
Yeah.
shit. But yeah, I remember seeing it all the time. Like, can't wait until I get one of those. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to text the shit out of this bitch. Like, oh man. And then, like, now there's jokes talking about, like, how old they are and, like, they're referencing, like, a time frame and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh
Damn.
man, I'm like, fuck, we totally missed that whole thing up here. Like, shit. I'm like, yeah, I remember when you guys had them. Like, oh, it was cool.
The problem is they came out with that shit too late. By the time that whole fad was over, Fido released the Sidekick, the newest. It was like the Sidekick LX, whatever it was, and it was like 2008, 2009, and this is when the fad's already over. Nobody fucks with Sidekick anymore. Like, I don't see any AT&T commercials about Sidekicks anymore.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we have the Sidekick. I was like, well, you're about like 5-6 years too late.
Yeah.
Right. But it was a great phone. It just
Fucking flipped around and
yeah.
shit. Yeah, I actually had a phone. It was like not really the same, but sort of similar. It was fucking. It wasn't very big. Like, it would have been about this big, maybe.
Okay.
Something like that, like this. And it was an HTC phone, and so the bottom part of it would stay where it was, but then, like, when you push the screen up, it would go.
Oh,
So
I
it
remember
didn't
that
flip
phone.
right around like the sidekick.
It's
but
kind
it,
of
like,
slid.
slid, yeah, around.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that phone.
Yeah, just for everybody, it kind of went. But yeah, no, I remember having that and being like, I'm so fucking cool, and it was my first smartphone or whatever. You could like fucking do the like get the apps and stuff on it and shit, and I was like, oh, I'm so cool. But then like I went to fucking sign it up because I bought it off a buddy, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking do whatever, and they're like, oh yeah, that's an old phone. I was like, oh. Oh, I thought I was the coolest. I'm like, watch though. Oh shit, phones. Like, man, even too, they brought back the fucking Razor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
What
was, like,
phone
the
is it that
first
they
phone
said
I
that
really
can?
wanted.
They can. Is it the Razor?
Oh
The-
yeah,
the
there's
bendy one?
Bend.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
two of them right
Like-
now. I think that can bend, and one of them bends. One of them's just like a phone, like our size that fucking folds in
Yeah, it
half.
can fold,
But then there's
yeah.
another one that's like basically two phones like ours
Which is weird.
that fold
Right.
out. Like,
I saw the iPhone concept. I like me an iPhone just because of my Mac products.
yeah.
Other than that, I like the
Well, it's a
fact
pain
that
in the ass to put pictures on my computer and shit because I have a MacBook. So it's like, because I have the fucking
Yeah,
Android,
yeah.
so I see that it's easy, but it's like, I always had trouble with iPhones. Like,
I could never hack one of these. And that used to be my thing. I used to hack my cell phones, like my
Yeah.
BlackBerry Storm. I had a fingerprint because I hacked the fuck out of it. I was like, choop. Without my fingerprint, you can't get in. Before these guys, iPhone came out with it,
yeah,
they had a way that you can reconfigure everything on the back end. And I was like, let me download this. Let me put this in. And if it just scans, I'm like, sure, cool. I'm going to be the coolest guy on the block with this.
yeah.
And I was like, I could hack this like I hack my PSP and other stuff. I like this. I like free shit. I don't want to pay for shit. And then when I got my first iPhone, the iPhone 4, and I had a Mac, I was like, oh, I don't think I'm going back.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I could see it being easy and shit, but
I've had PCs and they crashed all the time. I've only had one Mac on me that crashed.
yeah. Oh yeah. Well, like I
Right.
said, that's what I use is a fucking MacBook, but it has caused me trouble, but I just can't do the phone. I've just made my decision. No, no, but it was just, and that's what it was originally they had like a really small keyboard,
Yeah.
and I find the action is backwards in my mind in the like, where like, if I spell the word wrong, and then like I just press like spacebar or whatever, it'll switch to whatever it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But like on there, I found, and this is, so I don't know what it's like now. This is just when I made that decision.
Yeah.
Was it was the opposite, where you had to like do something to make that word go in there or whatever. So then I would just like be typing through, and it would come up and be like, it would put literally what I fucking typed, and I'm like, oh man, and I go back and
I have to do it all in automatic.
like tick, tick, and then like it's not just that, but there was a bunch of things that I was like, you know what, I just made that decision, so now I'm like, yeah, I'm not going over there.
Yeah.
I had one for a bit too though, like
You gotta
couple
try.
years ago, but yeah, like it's
That's what I say. You got to try at least. You can't really knock something until you try it. So I've had both phones.
yeah.
You know, because in the profession I'm in right now, it's smarter to have an iPhone
Oh,
than
for
it is an
sure.
Android. Literally, I have GarageBand on my phone. I could sit there and cue something up if I wanted to
Yeah.
on the go. My phone's too small, but I mean, I have that capabilities.
Yeah.
If I wasn't making music, I'd be like, sure, whatever, anything at all. It doesn't matter. I'll take whatever phone. If this phone breaks and I find an Android for cheap, I'm gonna use that one because
Yeah.
I don't really need a phone for anything else but to text.
Fair enough.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I should be like that, but
Yeah.
You
Does
know,
it go
so
on the internet. How does it go on the internet?
you know, if it hits Wi-Fi, hits Wi. Like if I'm texting, that's the only thing I need it for. But I don't think if I wasn't in this profession, I'd be on social media as much.
No, it's
Right.
true. Yeah, I see that.
Like I barely post to begin with. So, and then I do it as a force. Like, you know, you have to stay consistent. You have to post. You have to do something.
Right.
You have to blah blah. I'm such a person that stay in, do their stuff, and then go outside. I'd be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, if I wasn't doing music, it'd be a weird thing. I wouldn't be on social media because it causes a lot of shit. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of thirst traps out there, and that's how you get yourself in trouble. Too much ass, too much ass in the reels. Like,
The temptation is real.
man, man, I don't know how these kids do it.
You know where the temptation is the gym.
Listen. I have my own. I have my own worries about the gym. My brother goes to the gym down the street from our house, and comes home and he's like, "Yo, I have to look away." And I'm like,
dude.
"What?" He's like, "Yeah, these two girls, da da da, this and that." I was like, "Damn, now I want to go to the gym."
Yeah.
Yeah,
But then I'm
man.
not working out. I'm distracted. So
Yeah.
it's like a win lose. But am I really gonna talk to this girl? Is she really gonna say to me, "Shorty, I'm 5'5", I'm thick, I like to smoke. Hopefully you a Buddha head. Come by the crib after this workout. Come smoke a bat with me and cuddle and watch Netflix, eat chips. It's gonna ruin your workout. I know, but I'm a big dude, so come do it with me
We
anyway.
gonna have chips.
You gonna have chips. You gonna have chips, some za. If you want pogo, I'll give you both kinds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Fuck yeah, man. But yeah, no, I guess it's weird, man. I went to the Canada one 3 times, and because you can go to anyone you want or whatever.
Yeah.
So I went to the Canada one. I swear, man, every time I was there, whenever I got there, there was this girl on the fucking Stairmaster, like just big old dumper. And then I leave, man, and she's still like, I go in and I go on the treadmill for 25 minutes and I go
Yeah.
work out for 45 minutes and then I go on the treadmill for 10 minutes and I leave. So I'm like there for a little while, you know, at least an hour or more, you know, and fucking she's there when I get there and she's there whenever I leave, and I'm like, holy shit, that's how she got that.
She got the dunk. She
Yeah.
got a dunk. That's what she just play every time she walks by. Find you some Soulja Boy. She got a dunk. She got a dunk.
It's got a little speaker.
Yeah, right there. Like, oh, here's your cute baby girl. She got a dunk. She got a dunk. She got it. Yo, the 2008 era was dope. You got to bring that shit back. From 2006, you know, besides Soulja Boy's "Kiss Me Through the Phone," that I can waste, you know, and some Laffy Taffy.
Phone.
Yeah, "Kiss Me," bro.
Shit, I forgot about that.
Yo, I don't know why, but that track was hard. And it doesn't make sense to me. I look back on it now and I'm like,
Someone did
this
a
was a simping moment in history.
remix.
I want you to kiss me through the phone. It didn't make sense to me. But back then I was like, yo, "Kiss Me Through the Phone" was it. Soulja Boy was, I hate to say it, but an actual decent rapper according to what our timeline was and what was acceptable during that era.
It's
and
fair,
what
though.
is now accepted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I even look back at things I've done through that era, and I have a
cranked
song.
that before.
Oh fuck! I, in like 2000, I would say 2006, 2007, I came out with a song called My Bass. And if you listen to my stuff that I like let me go that I just released last week, and you listen to My Bass, you're like, holy fuck. What was Fletcher smoking back then? And I wasn't even called Fletcher G. I was called X-Man back then.
X-Men.
X-Man, yeah. I want to be every shorty's X-Man. That was my that was my thing. And
That's good.
I want to be like I used to be like, I'm X-Man, and I used to pose in pictures like this. I'm like, gotta love 19-year-old Fletch.
Yeah.
18, 19-year-old Fletch was wild. But I came out with a song called My Bass. And I listened to it last week, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck I was smoking. It's something else. It's something I wouldn't listen to today.
Yeah.
It wouldn't fit in today's genre.
Right.
Anything like, yeah.
I guess that's like fucking anything. Or well, no, kinda. You know,
It was
like it would
Like from a
something that
different
was
time.
cool then it wouldn't be cool now.
yeah.
But I guess like sometimes, especially with music, things live on. You know.
Right.
So
It's-
yeah.
It's a song that should have never. I look at it now. I'm like, it's a song that should have never been out. I was in that song. I mentioned an Infinity i30T, which was like this big box like car from
Oh yeah.
like from the early the Infinity.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah.
The Infinity
yeah.
i30T. I used to have one. I used to have a rust bucket, and that's why
Man.
I wrote the song around that. I was like, my bass is so hard. Listen to the noise. What was it? My bass in the trunk be something loud. See, I am the life of the party. All the girls come at me cause candy coated paint. My whip is it was around that. My bass be da 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 na 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 da da da. It was Soldier Boy-esque, and I was like, but at that time it fit. Man, that's a song that should never be played again. It's somewhere in the deep sides of the internet.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, where do you find this? Yeah, shit, man.
It's somewhere, Reverb Nation, somewhere on the
Okay.
deep parts of the internet. Like
Shit.
it was actually part of my first compilation album on the indie label that I was signed to back then.
The one you were talking about.
Yeah, 20 Entertainment. It's on that compilation album. And that album is somewhere on the vast corners of the internet somewhere too. Let's Network Volume 3. I had everybody. I had, that started off like it was a chain reaction. We released that album, and everybody in Southern California came calling, and they were like, "We want you guys on tour." So we released this at beginning of May, and by June we were like, "Okay, how are we gonna get Fletch into the States?" And they came on tour bus, put me under, went over, got me out, put me back on a bus, and we drove. And then I didn't have a passport.
Yeah, shit.
I didn't have a passport, and they were like, "Okay, we drive to Cali." Did a few shows, went to Texas.
You just didn't get a passport, or you couldn't get a passport?
I just was lazy.
Yeah.
I was lazy, and they were so like on a short term. I didn't think nothing was gonna happen to it. They're like, yeah, I had My Bass, and I had another song on the album. I wasn't their priority, so I was like, whatever. I'll do my 2-3 songs. I'll do a feature for somebody, and everybody else is what you're focusing on anyway. So I'll just max in Brampton for the time being. And they called me a week later, like, no, we need you here now. I'm like, well, I can't get a passport that fast, so you're gonna have to figure something the fuck out, or else you're gonna have to do the shows without me. And you figured it out. They figured it out. I got out there and I did my thing. It was fun. I don't think I want to live like that, but it was
Like on
fun.
the road like that?
Yeah, I'm a homebody. The road life is fun, but I think after the second week, I get stir crazy anywhere I am, especially if I'm not home. And so for me, I couldn't do like, how people do 3-month tours, 4 months, 6 months on the road. I can't do
man.
that.
I think I could. It's hard to say though, because I didn't really I don't know. I've never actually like been like on tour
Hit the road.
performing.
Mm.
You know what I mean, and shit like that,
Stopping in every
and
city.
like obligated to be in places. But like, I don't know. I just like going places. Like, you know what I mean? Like adventuring. Like,
Yeah.
cause like even too, like whenever I say like go on tour, like we driving around the bush and smoke weed and shit. Like we'd be like, oh, let's go on tour. Like, oh, you want to go for a little tour? You want to go for a big tour? And like you go around and you drive through the bush until you all of a sudden you come out somewhere and you're like, oh fuck, we're in
Mm.
this town. You stop and you're like, oh, let's go to the fucking little like market thing they have here. And like, oh, let's do this, you know. And you're like, oh, let's go to the next little town. And like, you know,
Mm.
you just drive around. So it's almost like, you know, like a small version of that, just in one day. You know, you're like, oh, you kind of like make your way around the valley or whatever.
Yo,
You know.
some of the shacks there have some greasy food.
Yeah,
some,
yeah.
some like the poutines. I say the closer you get to like Montreal, so like what's that place? It's not Cornwall. You go up north. It's not Kentville.
Hawkesbury.
Hawkesbury.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went to a native weed store somewhere up in Quebec, and I had passed Hawkesbury, and I was like, I'm gonna stop here. Saw a little shack for like a poutine. It's some of the best poutine I had in like the middle of nowhere in Hawkesbury. So I was like, yo, I'll fucks. And there's a Chinese spot in Hawkesbury too that's fire. Like
Hawkesbury's where it's at.
apparently,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know for the women's side, but like at least for food, at least you'll be happy one way.
For the women's side.
At least you're happy one way. I knew some girl from Hawkesbury, and she was out here playing games. So just by default, Hawkesbury gets a bad rep. I'm sorry if you watching, you from Hawkesbury and you're a female. I'm sorry, whatever that girl is. I'm sorry. She just gave y'all a bad rep. You know, when y'all here skeezing and you're trying to take people's money, but you're trying to pretend like you're in a relationship with somebody. And I'm like, yo, why is this girl doing this to my homie? Oh, I need money for this. Don't you work? You have 2 kids. Go do something. Oh, and she'd only holler at him if she needed bread. And I'm like, I told my homie, I was like, yo, bro, this girl's trying to squeeze every penny out of you, and you don't even have any kids. Why are you taking care of this girl's kids? Is she wifey? Did you wife her? No, like, leave it the fuck alone. Go somewhere else. So out of default, I'm sorry, Hawkesbury girls. Maybe 1 or 2 of y'all could show a brother that is different. But for the time being, 2 chains. Well, you know, for the time being, it's like if somebody would have a bad experience with an Ottawa man's, they're gonna think, you know, Ottawa mans are all trash. Like it's like Toronto. So what? 1, 2? Actually, no, that's a lot of people. What am I saying? What am I saying?
Lots of fishes.
Lots of fishes. But you know, Toronto gets a bad rep because you know mans be out here wilding. It's
fair enough.
It happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, Toronto does get a bad rap, but it does seem like there's, I don't know.
There's hope. There's hope somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Just if you're driving, just don't go to Brampton.
Bucks be ballin' is our only hope.
Bucks be ballin'.
You know this guy?
No, I don't.
Oh shit. Oh, I'll pull him off. He's
Yeah,
just
show
like
me.
an internet dude, but I guess Drake gave him fucking a bunch of money or something at one point.
Oh, is it that?
I might have the name wrong. His Instagram is Bucks be ballin'.
And he's like, you know, and he shows you the money. He's like, one time I was broke.
Yes. yeah. Big ballin'.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. He's like, I saw one video and he's like, you know.
Oh yeah.
That guy.
Oh, I can't find fucking video, but yeah, like.
Yeah, that guy with heavy with the accent, the Toronto accent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I can't find like a video, but yeah. Anyways, he had like. He'd always have the videos, yeah, and he's like, oh yeah, he's like, fucking, you don't think I got the money? And he's like, got all the cash and shit, and then like he'll be like flexing all his drip and shit. He's like, oh, this is worth this and this and this, and then they'll be like, I remember there's one video where he's like, his whole point was that people were like, I guess, commenting that like he'll either have a video where he's got a bunch of cash, or he'll have a video where he's like dripped out. So they're saying that like he's like going and buying some shit and then like selling it and then showing the money and then like, you know what I mean? Either way, he was making a big point to be like, look, I have it all at the same time, you know?
Oh,
and he's just
wow.
like, oh, I'm
I
like,
can imagine him with
Yeah.
with like everything that he's like, look, guys, I have it all.
yeah, he's like, oh, what does he say to Scooby Quads? And he's like
Scooby
smoking smoking on the Scooby Squads or Scooby Quads.
Be quiet.
Yeah.
Be quiet.
Yo, I
Bugsy
need.
Bomb, but he's got that hardcore accent. He's our only hope for Toronto.
Sorry, Drake. Man, you know, imagine if we could have some Scooby. Yo, wherever that boy is, bring some Scooby what is it? Scooby quads.
Yeah.
Bring some Scooby quads to the legal market.
Yeah.
I want some different shit to sell to people. I want to
Do
squeeze
that.
people out of their dolo when they come to my store. Hey, it's not expensive, so take 2, take 3. I can
Yeah.
You came here for 3.5. You're gonna leave here with 21 grams,
Oh shit.
guaranteed.
It's but it's so expensive,
It's
especially too with the fucking
you gotta know.
with the extracts and stuff too.
Yeah, like what I'm smoking on today, just the cart itself is like $44, and that's before tax. Obviously, I got a little discount, but
And I mean that
It's like-
still lasts you a little bit too. I
just
guess.
because it's live resin, if it was a regular distillate, it'd be gone already. And I've had this for like 3 days, and it doesn't look like I smoked any of it.
Yeah.
Just because it's a bit stronger and it's better. Like, how do I say it? It's made. The quality is better. It's made better. The smoke is clear. Like, I've had some distillates that literally, you still have some left in the chamber, and you could see it slowly start to turn black, just because
Yeah.
you know, whatever they put inside to get it the way it needs to be, or the extraction process, it wasn't pure. It wasn't done properly. So you have like this black res, and you can see it start to climb up, and you can't smoke that shit. So by the time you get to like the last quarter of your cart, you have to chuck it. So you're chucking out some money right there. And imagine you're buying 3-4 of these $20-$30 carts every week.
Yeah.
You're spending $60-$80, but you're wasting $10 every time you throw one out and you don't finish it all.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here's $10. Here's another 10. After 10, 20, $100, $200, you're wasting money. But these motherfuckers don't care.
Shit, yeah, definitely, bro.
Don't
'cause,
care. Yo, you come in my store and I don't know you, I'm gonna teach you. Hey, look, you don't want this shit. You want to smoke this shit. If you don't want to smoke this shit, you're gonna smoke all of this shit right here. The 3.5s, the 7s. I'm not gonna give you something I wouldn't smoke for myself. And that's just it. That's what you want out of somebody that's gonna sell you weed.
I went to it's in Canada.
Mm.
Okay, might have been the one you mentioned earlier. Tokyo Smoke, I think.
Tokyo Smoke, yeah.
Might have
I
been
used
that
to work
one.
for them.
And I went in, and this guy was like, yeah, like right here. Like, it was just really like, he's like, well, here's the weed. And I was like, okay, well, you got anything that's like, you know, like dank, gassy? I'm like, I don't really know the terms. I'm like, because I'm like black market, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, but I just want like indica, like something straight indica, whatever. And he's like, oh, like this is fucking whatever. He's like, it's pretty good. And I look at it, I'm like, okay, it's a hybrid, but I'm like, I want like straight indica. So I started like reading them all, and then I was like, so like, where's the like just indicas? Because a lot of them were hybrids.
Yeah.
So I'm like, where's the just indicas? And he's like, well, this would be all the indicas, and this is now like the second or third time he's like pointed at like generally at this rack. So I'm like, and I look at the other guy, I'm like, do you know anything like, you want any like, do you know like something that's like this and that and whatever? And he's like, yeah, like I don't know, this it's good or
Yo.
whatever. And I looked at it, I'm like, no, I'm like, I don't know, man. And then he like went in the back, and I was just like, all right, I'm gonna go, I'm not sure. So I left, and I went fucking one plant. And the guy was like, oh, and he fucking was like, oh, this and that. And he's like, don't get this, though. He's like, get this. And it was just like, oh,
Question though, that dude that you met at one plant, what did he look like?
He was,
Was he tall?
no. He was, well, no. He was like,
Okay.
Compared to you?
yeah. I was going to say he was short, but not that he was short. He was like shorter than me quite a bit. And he had like a beard, but it was
Okay.
very like thin and
I
straight.
think I might know who it
And wears
is
glasses, dark hair.
because it was
He's like,
it was
I
the
don't
one
want to be
plant
rude, but he's like
in
some kind of like ethnicity.
some
Like he's
ethnicity.
Asian or
Yeah.
something, like, you know?
This is the one plant in Barhaven, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. My homie used to run that, so I probably know who you talk about.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
But it's just all I'm saying. It's not even like fuck them or good for them. But it's just the two different experiences. You know what I mean? And I feel like you're the second guy.
yeah,
know, like-
it's you. So when a lot of us started in this industry, it was like, hey, they didn't teach us shit. They just told us, hey, you guys have to learn for yourselves. Let me throw you guys out here in the pack of wolves, and you're gonna learn. And the industry in the market was terrible. You got overpriced weed for really swag, and we had to learn about it. So there's not that passion to work in the cannabis industry anymore because
Yeah.
all these stores are popping up like Skittles,
Oh, they're fucking
like
everywhere.
McDonald's, like
dude,
Starbucks.
Was
Yeah.
you
Like,
just saying that today? Or
Andrew.
They're
my brother said
everywhere.
that today. Yeah.
I started off on at Superette, which was on Wellington Street, right?
Super, oh yeah.
So-
That was the first legal one I ever went to.
Yeah, so I started off there, and I went from there to Tokyo Smoke, and I managed the Ridgeburn, and then now I'm at Go Green, and just the quality of bud tenders I've seen on my little tour of cannabis. At the beginning, we have some diehard cannabis people. They love the bud. They know about the bud. I know a guy that can sit there and tell you every terpene that's in some of these strains
Yeah.
without like cheat sheet. I use cheat sheets. Why? Because it's there to use. Fuck it. I don't need all this info
Oh,
in my
yeah.
head all the time. I have a life. But these good.
taking
This
up
is
memory and shit like that. Yeah.
some of the stuff I like. I know.
Yeah.
And the other stuff, like the indica stuff, I'm like, I can tell you a bit about it, but I have a cheat sheet for that shit. Like, I'm gonna tell you exactly. I'm gonna find out what you need based on what you tell me what your taste like, or like what you like for taste. And I'm gonna find you something that's around there on the indica side. I know my way around, but some of these guys straight passion for it, and because these stores are opening up, like almost every week, 3-4 every week. The market's oversaturated. They're looking for literally anybody.
Yeah.
If you're 19 plus, I wanted to say my catchphrase there. I'll say it after. If you say if you're 19 plus, fuck it, I'll just say it now. If you're 19 plus with a robust butt, you're good to go.
Yeah.
If you're 19 plus and you don't even have to smoke weed. And that's like, for me, that's like mind blowing. You don't even have to smoke weed to work in some of these places.
Oh no.
And for me, it's like, you smoke. If I'm doing an interview, you smoke weed? No, fuck off.
Mm.
Because how are you gonna tell my customer that walks in here, oh, you can learn about it, but there's an experience to smoking weed.
Yeah.
Of course.
You know, when somebody comes in and tells me, I want to feel relaxed. I'm like, how relaxed do you want to feel? He's like, I want to be like in my couch. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna bring out the Kush. I'm gonna bring out some like a sour. I'm gonna bring something out that's gonna put you on your ass. If you don't know what that experience is, you can't fully. For me, it's like, I'm A-okay if you don't know. If you're willing to learn, by all means, that's good. You're gonna get 60% of the job done. But if I'm your boss, I need you to get 90% of that job done. That means I need you to smoke.
Yeah.
I need you to smoke. I'm going to give you, like, if I have samples, I'm going to give you a sample, or I'm going to, like, I used to buy my staff product all the time. Like, when we first opened Ridgeburn, I hired a bunch of staff because I'm the boss. I was like, fuck it. Let me just buy a bunch of weed. I'm like, go home and smoke this shit because you're going to be selling this shit tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, like
Like-
even too, one of my buddies owns a shop
Makes
in
sense.
Renfrew,
Mm.
and he'll take stuff home and he gives it to his neighbor, which is another one of my buddies. But he'll give him shit and like he'll be like, here, try this out, and it's usually like extracts and shit.
Yeah.
But he's like, so then because he doesn't really like, he smokes it, but not really. You know what I mean? Like he'll smoke like the odd
Here and
joint here
there.
and there, right? So he's like, here, you actually like fucking put it through the test and tell me what's up, But even that, I'm like, man, yeah, like still, I would want to know that like, what it means. Even back to the thing too in Canada where I said, I look at them all and every one of them is like peppery and spicy. in the flavor, and I'm like, well, man, I'm like, are they all peppery and spicy or no? Or like, so then same thing, they get defined as like, oh, it's like relaxing, and it's like, oh, well, like they're all
No,
relaxing.
if they don't
So,
have myrcene in it, you don't want. If you're an indica person and it doesn't have myrcene in the top three terpenes,
Yeah.
don't fucking smoke it. You're gonna get a headache. You're not gonna enjoy your high. You're gonna be pissed that you spent at least $35 or more on this 3.5.
yeah,
And next time, just don't look.
but no, I just mean too though. It's like even with they're just labeled that way. So if you didn't actually smoke it and know what it's gonna get you, just to look at it and go, oh, it says it's calming or like whatever, and it's like, yeah, but unless you actually like smoke it and you're like, no, actually I smoked that shit and fucking, you know, like this is how it made me feel or whatever. Like this is
There
what it can't
is
do.
there. So everybody's in everybody's body, we got CB1 and CB2 receptors,
Yeah,
and that's what takes in your THC and your CBD. Everybody's CB1 and CB2 receptors are different.
true, yeah,
So that's the hard part of the job, right? The first part of the job is knowing your product, at least to be able to sell it. The second part is relating to your customer. So you got to ask certain questions that are that give off what they like,
yeah,
right? Oh, you smoked this. How did it make you feel? Just from that alone, I'm like, okay, can I relate to him or not? Can I give him the right product or not? And that's how you base. I find bud tenders nowadays, because there's so many stores and they're opening up so quickly, you don't get the proper training. You don't. So when you, let's say like
Yeah.
you went to Tokyo Smoke and you didn't get the proper training. If it was my Tokyo Smoke that I used to work at, trust me, I have like 5-6 people on the floor, tablets ready. If they don't know, they ask questions and they'll be like, wait 1 second and find out for you. And the beauty about Tokyo Smoke is it's all in different, like, their own genres. They have the calm, they have the rise, they have 2 others, and that's supposed to dictate where your indica is. So if somebody's messing up with the display, messing up everything that's labeled there, you're gonna have a hard time, especially with bartenders now. They don't give a fuck.
yeah,
They're like, oh, I work in a weed store. Yeah, I'm like, no, this is an actual job, bro.
yeah,
You need to know shit. Some people, you're messing with their medication.
yeah.
So you can't fuck around with that. Oh, let's say this person can have this terpene, and oh, I want this, but this strain, this phenotype, this phenotype of this strain has this terpene in it, but the other company grew it a different way. It doesn't have this terpene in it. Are you gonna know the difference, or are you just gonna give him whatever?
Yeah.
Right? So there's, I know maybe like 30 people in the industry right now that are like diehard,
Yeah.
and I refuse to go to other people's stores just because I know I'm not going to get the same experience that I give off to somebody unless I go to, like, my boy moved to Kingston. I moved to Kingston last year. He runs 710 in Kingston, and this dude knows shit. Shit. He could tell you, oh, because he grows as well, he could tell you, oh, it has orange hairs, it's going to be like this, it smells like this, it's going to be this, I need anything that you need to know, he knows. And
Is that the head shop there?
710 Kingston was it was an accessory store,
Yeah. is
and
that
they
the place
converted
we
into
went to?
weed.
What's
Is
that?
that the place we went to? There was the smoke shop. I think you can smoke
That was
upstairs.
420. That was 420.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
this was over by St. Lawrence. Yeah.
Oh,
Down
Okay.
King Street. Well, no, for 710, right?
Okay, yeah, because
It's oil backwards, right?
Mm.
Yeah, upside down. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, fuck. And like your experience, just from that experience alone, you're not gonna go back to Tokyo Smoke.
No, yeah. Well, I was like, yeah. Well, I don't know this, and like even the other guy, I sort of tried to be like, help me, and he like he answered my question, then he just like went in the back room. I was like,
see,
I gotta go, guys. Like,
I don't want to shop here.
Speaking of questions, you got one in the comment.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Terpene smells like puke. James Collins, shout out
Oh,
James.
what terpene smells like puke?
What terpene smells like? I wish I knew. I wish I knew what terpene smells like puke.
You know that like cheese, like baby puke or whatever, or like. fucking-
Oh. Is it
Does James Collins know the answer and he's just testing?
He
or-
probably knows. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
said he asked us that stuff.
that I don't know. Plus,
Yeah, I don't know either.
so
but
everything that
I do
I
like the
That's
fucking
good.
cheesy smell.
like,
though.
I love UK cheese. Like, I
Yeah.
love that. I got it for the first time. I was in Victoria, BC.
Yeah.
I'd say
Shout out Victoria, BC.
Yo, the scenery was beautiful.
Did you go to the place where you pick the peanut shells off and you fucking
No.
throw them on the ground?
I went to. They have a tiny museum, and I went to Cloud 9 before it was legal, and I went and bought weed, and they're like, "Oh, we have this UK cheese." I was like, "Fuck yes." Not knowing it was like fucking ridiculous, gonna put me on my ass. My girlfriend at the time, we're like, okay, let's go to the tiny museum, and we're ripped out of our mind. The first like 30 seconds is like the Star Trek, like display, all these lights. It's dark. I'm like tripping balls, and then the rest, it looked like all the faces were melting. Like, I shouldn't have been out in public smoking that UK cheese that day. I shouldn't have been out, and we didn't take an Uber. We walked everywhere because we were so close.
Yeah.
And I was just like, do people see me? Do people see me this high? Should I be this high? Is it legal to be this high? It like that was the first time me having BC weed too, so it put me on another level.
Fuck, man, the first time I smoked in the place in Kingston we were talking about,
Yeah.
it was like, I swear I got like high again. You know what I mean? Like, it was like I got a different high. Like, it was weird. It was just like all of a sudden I was just like felt comfortable or something, you know? Because it wasn't legal then. Sorry, yeah, it wasn't
Okay.
legal then. And like, so you go to the bong shop downstairs, and they have bongs, but then you go upstairs and you can like, it's a lounge. You can pay $5 or whatever, and then you can like rent bongs and shit and whatever. You sit, there's like couches, you chill and smoke and shit. And yeah, I was like, man, like, I'm like pretty fucking stoned. And I was like, I think the thing is that I'm like comfortable, because I'm like, cool,
Yeah.
we're like allowed to be here smoking weed, you know? Like, there was even like a lawyer's office next door, like
That's-
in the same
That's
upstairs.
weird. That's weird. Have a lawyer's office right next door.
Yeah, well, because I went there one day before 4 o'clock, and so we paid and shit, and then the chick was like, oh yeah, so do you guys have your own bong? Because we clearly didn't have our own bong.
Yeah.
Or she's like, or do you want to like rent one? And I was like, oh, we're gonna smoke joints. And she's like, oh no. She's like, I think she even like pointed at a sign. It was like,
No
no
smoke.
joints before 4 o'clock or whatever. And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, it's the lawyer's office is like next door or whatever. Like, you go up to the
What?
top of the stairs. Here's the lounge, and then you go down the hallway, and
Oh,
there's the fucking thing, the lawyer's office. And I was like, oh no way. And she's like, yeah. So I was like, we're leaving.
Yeah, you don't want to be trapped up in there.
Yeah.
We had one actually in Ottawa on Montreal Road. It was called Buzz Lounge.
Yeah, I actually wanted to try and check it out. I remember whenever it was
When it was there, yeah. They fucked me up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they fucked me up real good. My boy Nicholson used to work there, and I came by to see him, and I was like, "Yo, I haven't seen you in forever, so like, we'll shoot this shit." And he's like, "Yo, have you ever done shatter?" And I was like, "No."
Yeah.
Like, let me smoke my joint. Let me, bong hit, sure. And he's like, nah. He's like, try shatter. And this was like, I'd say 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. My kid's at daycare. I'm like, okay, I have enough time. I can do whatever. I smoke all day, every day, so I should be fine. It took this tiny hit of shatter, and I think I clued in, I'd say 45 minutes before I needed to be where I needed to be. And I didn't even know where the hell my day went. I told him, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? He's like, I'm like, have I been here this whole time? He's like, you haven't moved in like 4 hours. You've been at the exact same spot. He's like, it fucked you up that bad. I'm like, yo. And I go outside and I'm like, okay, where the fuck did I park my car? Where is this? Where is that? It was bad.
It's funny because right before you said that, it made me think of the story, which also has to do with my car. But I was at a buddy's house, and he had a buddy come from Kingston to bring him some shatter, and then they were gonna have like a session.
Yeah.
So this guy brought a bunch of bongs, like rigs, and they were like all expensive rigs and shit. And then they had an e-nail and all these different kinds of shatter. So they're like, oh, here, try this kind of shatter, and like, oh, here, try this rig, try this kind of shatter. So I was just sitting there, and it's like an e-nail, so you can just keep dabbing.
Oh,
So
God.
oh yeah, I'll try this. Oh, and my other buddy does like ninja dabs where like when you're doing a dab, like he'll throw a dab in and shit.
Yeah.
So I do a whole bunch of dabs, and I remember I was like, oh fuck, and I was coughing and shit. And this is like over, maybe an hour or two, whatever. But I did a whole bunch of dabs, and I'm like coughing in the kitchen at one point, and I like leaned against the door, and I just sort of like crouched down and was like, oh man, I'm like fucked up. And this is also like whenever I've like one of the maybe the 10th time I've done dabs or something.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm like crouched down. I'm like, oh man, I'm pretty fucked up. I'm like, I gotta piss. And I remember going into his washroom to take a piss, but then like I woke up and I was at home and I was like, yo, what the fuck? I'm like, man, I was pretty fucked up, like crazy. Yeah, man. That was it. And then I was like, I drove to his house. And I was like, how the fuck did I get home if like, I just blanked out, So like run downstairs and look outside and my car is there and I'm like, what the fuck, man? I'm like, wild. But that was one of the first times, like, or not one of the first times, but that was like earlier in my dab career, I guess you would say.
Yeah. Fuck. Yo, I don't do dabs like that.
No,
Nah.
I haven't in a bit. Like I did a couple in the last week, but I haven't for a bit.
Like I fucks with diamonds.
Yeah, I put a couple of snakes in these joints. Some shatter.
Oh man. Yeah, shatter fucks me up. I don't know what it is about shatter, but it fucks me up. But diamonds, I get diamonds all the time. I don't like the fact that I'm paying ridiculous prices for diamonds. But every once in a while, once a month, it's like a little treat. It lasts me about 2 weeks, and I have a field day on a Friday. Field day, just like. I usually
you have a rig, or
no,
do you?
no. I have a pen.
Put it
so,
in the thing.
Yeah. So I like my pen because I put it in my car. I'm like, okay, traffic's here. A little hit, wake me right up.
Oh yeah, it's definitely
Boom.
easier, like especially on the go. Fuck yeah.
I'm 100% a person on the go because I'm never in one spot for too long. Like I'd say like 2-3 hours max, and
You
then I
ever
have
seen
to.
those like little what the fuck's it called? Fuck, it's like a little cone shaped thing.
Oh,
but it's an electric fucking.
it's electric.
dab rig.
Yeah, it's the Puffco Peak.
Yes, thank you.
There you
Yes,
go,
yeah. I was
yeah.
like, oh my god.
They came out with this opal one last fall.
Oh, dude,
as
they
a
have
special
sunrise
edition.
one. Oh.
Bro, I don't
Sorry.
even hit like dabs like that, and it's like $500-$600.
Yeah,
And it was like crystallized. It was opal. It was see through too. And I was like, I would spend $600 on this and never use it, just because it looks nice.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they had a bunch of them, but I went and I looked because I was like, I was just gonna buy a fucking black or white one, and then I fucking looked on the site and I was like, oh, look at all these colors.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, I want one of these. And I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, and I think even one of them, like normally there's like a light on it, but I think one of them actually like the bottom actually like lights up, like the whole thing lights
Yeah,
up or something.
That's the
And-
new ones.
Yeah, so I was like, oh man, I'm like, yeah, fucking right. All sold out, even the black and white ones.
I'm
I was like, I
telling
couldn't
you.
even get a basic one either. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
I had to only order one of those from my store because they couldn't give me. I'm like, yo, what am I gonna do with one? I'm gonna put it on display. I'm gonna open it, put it on display, and then sell the display. I'm like, I
Yeah.
need at least 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say 3 at least. Yeah,
3 at
one
least,
to show
no.
and 2 to sell. Fuck.
No, because everybody wanted this motherfucking thing. The rep called me and he was like, yo, I have something special. I'm calling you because I'm almost out. So you need to make a decision in like 24 to 48 hours or there's none. And I was like, the last hour, I was like, sure, I'll bring it in for the store. And I'm like, if nobody else sells it and I don't sell it, I'll buy it myself because I want it. And then they were sold out for 6 weeks after. Couldn't find that same exact model, couldn't find it anywhere.
Yeah. Fuck, they're so handy, man. You just like you hit the button, fucking goes.
It heats up.
It fucking vibrates. You put your dab in. You fucking smoke it. You put it away.
Yeah,
Shut it
they're-
off. Put it away. Boom.
It's-
And it's just a little thing you put in your cup holder or something, you know?
Yeah. You literally, like my middle console, I literally could open that up and place it in there and close it and it'd be fine. It's one of the best portable rigs out there. I'm like, I don't need a torch. I don't need to buy balls. I don't need to buy any accessories for.
Yeah.
This is
How
what
much
it
did
is.
Go for?
Charge. Have you seen
Like-
the Mega Smoke?
No.
No, it's like this fucking. Can we pull one up?
Mega smoke.
It's like a steel, it's like, I don't know. It's like a. It's like
Mega smoke.
Mega Smoke, yeah. So you can put weed in it.
Okay.
I think I've
You can
seen
put your
these
weed in
things.
there.
Yeah.
And then you can put like shatter and stuff too.
Okay.
But it's comes actually too. So like there's the little mouthpiece
Yeah.
is a 14 and 18 millimeter adapter. So like you puff on it, but then like put it on
Oh.
and smoke. Like yeah. So you just have it as a hand device, or you could put
Fuck.
it in the thing and smoke it. I've seen a few people
I
advertising
swear
them
I would
lately.
never see a black man with one of those unless he like. There's only actually no, I lied. There's one guy that probably had one of those.
Can you see what's up here?
Yeah. Oh well, I can see a bit of it.
Oh no.
Let me-
Weird. Mega smoke, mega toke, maybe.
Mega-
Sorry.
Mega tote.
I'm good on that.
Oh, you're good on
though,
that?
yeah,
Did I
thanks.
just hash all over your?
I'm probably good on it.
Okay,
as
sick.
well. It actually fucked my answer
All right.
up.
But it looks just like a fucking one. There, okay. The
Here we are.
gold and silver ones in the top left, yeah. But
Yo,
it's just
This
like
looks
and you
death
put
machine,
your
bro.
shit in
Yeah,
there,
I
so
like
it just
the-
looks like your classic fucking douchebag vape box thing. and then you fucking. You can put your shit in there, and then you fucking. I mean, you wouldn't be like puffing on that at the bar like a douchebag. You'd be
somebody
doing that
would.
in your
You
car or
know
something.
somebody would.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. But I mean, like, I'd just say, like, I'm just saying, you're not walking around like blowing clouds and shit, like. But so you would keep that, right? And you would hit it, but then the top little thing with the, it's rubber or whatever.
Yeah.
It fits into your bong,
Yo,
so you can
that's
put it
some-
in a 14 or a
That's
18 mil.
wild.
Jesus Christ. Yo, the
No
things that
way,
people
man.
come up with for accessories, it baffles me, man.
Yeah, man.
I just
Yeah.
sit there and I'm like, yo, who
Thank you,
you must have
Jonathan.
been really fucking
problem.
high to come up with this shit. You have to be a real stoner to come up with this shit.
Yeah, man.
Like,
Right there.
But yeah, no,
there's-
like I've seen. Have you ever seen like Dab and Granny?
a
It's
bit,
like the
yeah,
old lady
yeah,
dabs
yeah.
and shit.
Yeah.
She fucking smokes one of these, but she'll put whatever in it. Like she'll put weed or extracts in it. But like she's like blowing big ass clouds and shit out of it. I'm like,
Crazy.
yo, I'm like,
Yeah.
if you actually
Yeah.
get that kind of smoke off of it, like I'd fucking consider smoking it. Like not all the time, but like just for on the go or something, right? You get fucking.
Yeah.
Couple
Imagine what
dabs.
this massive cloud's gonna do to you later. You think you're gonna get high off a little cloud? Shit, yo, enjoy the rest of your night, your afternoon, your next day, the day after that. Because I don't think you're doing shit. I don't think you're doing
They
shit.
have a smaller one.
If you're blowing a big ass cloud like that, I don't know if your throat's gonna be okay the next day.
Oh, but if it's like I'm saying too, like if you got the weed in there.
I wonder, can you
You're
put
still
weed and
weed in
shatter?
Oh, I would hope you could. The thing is though,
At
is
the same
the thing
time?
is though, is I'm the kind of guy that I would want to have one for weed and one for shatter. So I'd
Right.
probably get a small one for shatter and have the big one for smoking weed. But even then, I'm not even really like a big like. I'm more of a joint guy. I don't really like the
Mm.
like weed gadgets. Like even a bong is too much for me. Like it's
I
like
feel
I want
that.
to smoke this joint or this blunt, but I don't want to like put it in a thing and like have to like smoke it.
Okay.
So for me it would be kind of weird to like, you know, I probably wouldn't even smoke the weed out of it, so I would probably just get one to put the shatter in.
That makes sense.
But I don't know, like, and the thing is too is I guess like part of it is that it works.
goes
It
in
works
the
that you
bong.
can like, well, it works that you can use it upside down too, I guess, right? Because like normally they fucking
Yeah.
the coils on the bottom.
Oh,
I don't know
that's
how it
true.
works, but I know that like that's another feature, like a thing that they talk about is like, oh, you can like hit it upside down too or whatever. So
you
it
know,
doesn't
some
spill
frat
or
boy
whatever,
somewhere in the
like-
States was like, yo, let's do a competition. You're going to take this hit upside down. That'd be- yo.
Well, no, you got to put it into the bong upside down, right? And otherwise, it would spill everywhere and shit. There's usually a little hole in your chamber
okay.
and shit, and like it would go everywhere. So it's like that's another little like selling feature. They're like, oh, you can fucking do whatever you want, right? But you know, yeah, like you said though, it's still at the same time, it's some engineer and fucking dude that was just like,
He got
Man,
high
like,
and he looked at the
if
bong.
we put the hole on the fucking bottom, but it goes to a hole at the top, and like
It can still air itself
it's all
out.
good, yeah.
Yeah.
It's basic fucking rocket science, man.
Oh, physics.
Yeah, it's like,
Physics.
but you're an engineer.
Aerodynamics, everything. While I was
Uh,
building this car, I came out with this device to get high with a bong.
Yeah.
How?
Have you ever seen Oh fuck, I'll never remember what movie it is, but if I tell you, you'll remember maybe when he is. Buddy's fucking. It might be a Half Baked even, but Buddy's under the car and he comes out under the car and Buddy comes over. Another guy comes over and he goes, "Hey man," he's like, "we're out of papers," and he's like, "Oh yeah, man." He's like, "It's all good. Get me a fucking." I don't know. He asked for like 3 different like random things. Like he's like, "Get me like a block of ice." And like a fucking ice pick, and like I don't know, he just
That does sound familiar.
but-
I don't know what it's from. though.
yeah, he's like, yeah, oh, it is actually. Sorry, wait,
Half-baked.
it
It's
is
like
half baked because
The
he's like,
Munchie Run.
you got your MacGyver smoker, you know, like you had all the different types of smokers,
Yeah.
and he was the MacGyver smoker, and but yeah, no, that I don't know how that relates, but I bet you it was gonna be awesome.
Stoner moment.
We have a lot of those.
Just the stoner ingenuity, I guess, or whatever you call it. But it's the
That's way
fucking
you put it.
we need this and this and this. Let's put it all together. Smoke some shit. But the weed fucking I was thinking about it the other day too, that like come a long way with the weed shit. Like even the what it was I
yeah,
saw a
for
post
sure.
that was like an article that was saying like there's some specific cancer that they found like really like that cannabis really fucks up or whatever, and they were like, oh, it's this big like breakthrough thing, and I was like, man, like really come a long way like in getting it legalized and having it all like, you know, like this. But then even with the medical shit too, you know, it's like really fucking changed the game in the last like even over the last fucking 20 years.
Yeah, I'd say 20
Yeah.
20 plus, 25 plus. Yeah, it changed the game. You-
Right
like-
down to hash rosin and shit now, you
Bro.
know, like
Yeah.
holy fuck.
Oh, I got some of that at home. I can't wait to crack it too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
It's some of my favorite stuff to smoke. Hash rosin,
Yeah.
some live resin, but it has to be cured properly.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like it's my number one thing. If it's harsh, you know it didn't do it properly. It shouldn't, especially
Should warm you right up, make your eyes sweat and shit.
like I had one. It was by Big. It was hash rosin, and it was so harsh.
Oh yeah.
Like I couldn't finish smoking any of it.
Was it pasty or was it like chalky? You know
was-
what I mean?
It was a bit chalky.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a cold cure maybe.
It was the
or something?
first like hash rosin I tried that was from the legal market. Yeah, no. Now they do some really good stuff, but I'm guessing like that first
They're trying
batch
to
of
figure it out.
yeah, that first 2-3 runs were not good.
But see, like even too, like I went one time, I got some shit, and just because I like needed to get it, and I got it, and there was one jar amongst it all that was like spinach.
Yeah,
It was like Rockstar Kush, and they.
Rockstar
Whenever
Kush
next
wasn't
time I
bad.
went back to a store, it was a fucking probably a couple like months or more. And I went back. I went to a different store, but I was there, and this guy, I said, "Oh yeah, do you guys have spinach?" That's what I was gonna get, and he's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Oh yeah," like he's like, "The only thing is fucking," he's like, "Right now there's hasn't been very good." I was like, "What?" I'm like, "I got the Rockstar Kush. It was awesome." He's like, "Yeah, we have it, but like," he's like, "I'm telling you," he's like, "That's one of the ones I smoked." He's like, "It's not very good." And I
yeah.
was like, "Fuck, it was pretty good whenever I got it," and like at least like we're smoking. And he's like, "No, man, like I'm telling you, man." He's like, "I'll show you some other shit." And
Did you end up buying it?
no, I didn't end up
Okay.
getting it. But the thing is he was just saying like it differs. Like sometimes like different, not just with spinach, but with any company.
Yep.
It's like fucking it's like sometimes he was saying like you get smaller nugs or bigger nugs,
Yeah.
or fucking you get a different batch or whatever, and it's the
It's
same
completely
strain and everything,
different.
and it's different, and like
Yeah.
so it's like hit or miss sometimes. But he's like, I like that you tell me that shit too though, right?
That's a good bud tender right there. Because
Yeah,
he
yeah.
cares that you want to
Yeah.
come back.
I think he like owned the shop too or something. Yeah.
Like you got to care for the. I know it's hard to say because it's retail, right? So you got to care about your customer walking in and walking out, because if they enjoy the smoke and you did a good job and you sound like you care for them, they're gonna come back.
yeah.
Like any other store, right? But cannabis is a bit different because obviously it's a
sells itself, man.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
does, right? Most people know exactly. They come in, oh, I smoked this back in the day, but we don't have that. Oh, but I had this. Okay, if you got this from a, let's say, black market, there's a guarantee that maybe 25% of whatever the cannabis market has it, and it's still probably in testing phase, or they need to get they need to own the rights to be able to sell it. So it's somewhere down the line, and it's gonna get tested in 2 to 5 years, and before it even sees anybody's like catalog to go out to the OCS.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, tough tits, you need to smoke something else. What else do you like? And these guys are like, oh, if I don't have the black diamond, I'm not smoking anything. I'm like, well, I'm sorry, bro.
Black
Like,
diamond.
Bad time. Now there is. BC has the black diamond.
BC Sun Farms?
No.
Or it's just
It's
called
released
BC?
it's released in British Columbia in the West
Oh, I
Coast.
see, I see.
It's by Tantalus. My boy works for them right now, and they have this. I think it's called Gas Can.
Oh yeah.
He brought a sample to me like a few weeks ago. It was fire. Like, I opened up the jar. It's gonna be like between $35 and like $45 too. So it's not gonna be. It's still considered craft, but it's not gonna be craft prices where you're spending an arm and a leg for like some caramel or some ghost drops or like some purple punch mints. You got to spend $50 more. At least it'll be in the mid range, but it's some of the best mid range weed for like $35 I've seen in a very long time. But it's been released in BC for like the last 8 weeks, 9
Okay.
weeks, and we haven't seen not even a gram of it.
And where do you work now?
Go Green.
Where's that one?
It's on Montreal Road,
Uh,
and Blair. Actually, yeah,
Okay, yeah.
Blair. Yeah, major intersection.
Okay.
The funny thing is, when weed was illegal the year before, I was at a shop literally a block away from where I'm at right now.
Oh yeah.
So everybody from that neighborhood that comes into my shop right now, they're like, "Oh, Fletch, what's up?" I'm like, "Yo,
Yeah, that's it.
what's good? I know what you want. You want some pink kush, or I know what you want. You want, decent for $40. I'll give you whatever you need." In and out, and it's nice to see some old faces again. It just, if you're a good enough customer service rep or bud tender, people remember you and they trust your judgment and they come back. Like, we just opened up our second store in Barhaven, and they're like, "You want to go?" I was like, "Nah, this is my hood. Like, I'm okay here. I don't want to sell. I don't want to have to be out of place and try to sell weed.
Yeah.
I want to be in my element. I can talk the way I want to these people. 90% of these people already know, like, if I'm gonna cuss in the sale, I'm gonna cuss in the sale. It is what it is. I try not to, but like,
You
fuck,
built
it's
a
weed.
rapport with these people. and shit?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Some of these people I've known for 5 years, 6 years. Some of these people I sold weed to, like, when it became legal. And it's nice to see some familiar faces when I'm in this industry. At least this way, I know they're honest people that just want to smoke weed. And it's nice to see that, because the closer you get to downtown, the shiftier characters you see, and these motherfuckers would do anything for weed. So,
Yeah.
like, Wellington's, like, when I worked at Superette, I saw some dude. He parked him. He was a kid. He parked himself outside of the weed shop in the middle of winter, and with a sleeping bag. And he had this weed. It looked moldy. It was in tinfoil. He had it curled up in tinfoil. This silicone bong that he would just unravel out of this bag, and he smoked this. And I looked at him like, "What the fuck are you smoking?" He's like, "Well, I have no money, so I can't really buy anything unless you want to, fund weed." I was like, I felt bad because this shit looked moldy.
Yeah.
So I went back in my store. I was like, I'll spend $20. Don't smoke this shit. This is the shit that you're gonna. Whoever sold you this shit doesn't care that you're probably gonna die off this shit.
Yeah.
This weed was moldy. It was still wet. It was moldy. It looked very dark. There was no. You know how when you look in a really nice nug, you'd be like, okay, I could see the colors. And this shit was black.
Ugh.
Shit was black. I don't know who the fuck sold it to him, but this kid was down on his luck in the middle of winter, and 90% of us that worked there, they were like, "Oh, you know what? I'll buy an edibles, or I'll buy 3.5, just to make sure this kid smoked some decent stuff."
Yeah.
So
Shit. And but even the edibles too. You say like
The edibles aren't.
they don't have. You can't get.
They don't
like,
slap.
You can't get high THC.
No,
Like
bro.
you can only get
10
little
milligrams.
Bits. Yeah, like
10 milligrams per pack. There's one company that did a
and
they
how
did a
many packs
loophole.
could I buy?
It depends on the equivalency.
But then they're like fucking expensive.
Yeah. There's some like the most expensive I've seen is Wana. It's like $9, $10, and you get these 2 little gummies in there, and it's equivalent to. It's like I'm paying $1 per milligram. So I'm paying $10 to get 10 milligrams in a pack. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. So this company released, it's like breath mints, but each breath mint is 10 milligrams, and there's, I think, 10 of them in the pack. So that was a loophole because it's not an edible; it's a breath mint. They're like, I'm gonna put 10 of them in here, put each one being 10 milligrams. So that way you get like, I still have to take half of it and put it all in my mouth, eat it for me to get a decent high.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
So it's a loophole. I'm spending like $20-$30, but I mean, Canadian government, you need to fix your equivalency, and like these 10 milligram bags ain't shit. I'm not getting like I get buzzed, but it's like saying, oh, I'm gonna drink this drink. Oh, I only got tipsy off this drink. I'm not gonna buy this again.
Yeah.
Right? If I want to get lit, like, I need a 50 milligram at least gummy. We need to do this on like quickly, because people are spending hundreds. I know this dude comes in my store. He spent hundreds of dollars on edibles, and I'm like, bro, I wish I could give you something else. I wish I could make you edibles myself.
Yeah.
I'd make you boom shit. I give you tincture, boom, there you go. You're out for at least a good 8 hours because it's alcohol
dude,
based.
I have a tincture at home. It's
You
I
said
think it's 250 per dropper.
Yo.
Yeah, 250 per dropper. Like, yeah, I was like, holy shit,
Yeah,
let's
I'd
get
go
it done.
I'd do that.
Yeah.
I'd do that. I'd go to a concert and do that shit. Just be like, okay, I'm in a sea of people right now. Take a whole.
Yeah.
It's party time. Depending on who it was. I know Lucky Day was around the vicinity the other day. Toronto. I think he was in Toronto.
Yeah.
JoJo was in town on today, or what day were we today? It's how messed up. 15th?
Friday the 15th.
Well, she's in town today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. She was supposed to be my baby mama, but now she's getting married. I see you out there.
I see you
You know,
out there.
I see you out there. You're here in my city. You don't holler at a brother. We were supposed to be something when I saw you back in like 2004. She was supposed to be my baby mama, but now she ain't because she out here getting married.
Oh, shit.
I can hear the heart breaking from
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, my sister was supposed to get me tickets. She's like, yo, what do you want for Christmas? And because of the whole Tory thing with the shooting with Megan Thee Stallion, I'm 100% a Tory supporter. So if you're bashing him online or you say some shit, I'm like, yo, peace. You know? Because there's no proof. Until there's proof, you can't talk shit.
Yeah.
And she went and she's like, oh, I don't condone blah, blah, and this and that. And I'm like, no, what? From now on, until you apologize, I am not listening to my wife. I'm not listening to any of your music. And she had a song with Tori. She took Tori off. I was like, that was the worst mistake because that boy's verse was the best verse on that song, is what made that song hot. So let me take you off my Spotify. I unfollowed you on Instagram. Like, I went deep. Twitter, Instagram, everything that I had her on, gone. Just because she's out here bashing Tory. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
No. You don't do that. You would want to be judged fairly if you so happen to shoot somebody at the back of the foot or wherever the hell I saw him. Okay, there, Megatron. Like, you saw over the car when you got out of the car. How'd you know it was Tori? You can't see into the car because you're too tall. Like, what is she, like, 6'2", 6'3"?
I don't know.
Like, she's tall. That's why.
Is that in the fucking court shit?
No, but I'm saying, like, I know I'm short. If I get out
But
of
they were in
like,
a car? No, I know, but they were in a car?
They were in a car. It was him, Megan Thee Stallion, I think assistant, and they were at a pool party with Kylie Jenner. Like,
shout out Kylie Jenner.
Shout out.
You already know what
Come
it
give me
is.
some bread. You know? I just want to be kept. You know what I'm saying? I think I've worked enough in my life now that I can be someone's trophy. Yes, I said it. be a good looking girl's trophy. Like I clean up nice. I don't look like this all the time. Like trust me, I clean up
I
nice.
don't look like this.
I don't
all
look
the
like this all the time. I look nice. Let me get like I'll call my brother, be like, yo, I need my hair done. And my brother does my hair, and I get all done up. I got a little shave, go see the barber, go work out 2 weeks before the event, slim down a little, don't eat the McDonald's, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe let me get in the suit and look good for you, and I'll be your arm candy, and I want to spend a bit of your bread, you know what I'm saying? I think I've worked hard enough in my lifetime that I should be able to do that for the next 15 years. Some of y'all do it for an entire career. I just want a piece of the cake. I don't want the whole thing. I just want a piece.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
you're fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, fair,
Like,
fair request.
Reasonable.
Yeah.
Like, carry me with a family, put me on a reality show, let me charge you $10,000 per episode, let's do a 22 episode season for 3 years, 4 years, let me Kanye-esque your lifestyle and just talk pure bullshit for like 4 or 5 years on this TV show, then break up with you. I got my bread, thank you, bye. I'm moving to Haiti and I'm living off the water and the land.
Is that where you want to go?
Bro, I want to go back home.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. My parents are from there.
Okay.
Shout outs to Haiti. I got I got it tattooed on my stomach. I tattooed my stomach last year. I didn't think I was gonna do it, and I got the middle part of the flag tattooed, where it says has a little quote on the bottom, and I was like, I really want to go back home. It's first of all no snow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, I will deal with the earthquakes. I will deal with
That's it.
I will deal with
Yeah.
everything
No
else.
snow.
No
That's it.
snow. That's it.
I'm down though.
But-
I feel you.
It's for me. It's like I'm not.
Excuse me.
I don't believe in God, right? So our religion is voodoo, and when I die, I'm gonna give myself back to where my ancestry is from. So the only difference is you can put me on a boat, shove it all with weed, and that's an offering to my ancestors. Is like every once in a while, my sister and I, we pray to our ancestors and we give it an offering. So that's a drink, whatever my grandfather or my great grandfather liked at the time. We give them some herb and we burn some incense and we pray to ancestors. Thank you for their life. Thank you for the life that we have, the blessings that we're about to receive and all that jazz. Because there's no way that you could tell me that this man-made book that's been rewritten over the years is real.
Yeah.
I know my ancestors are real. You know,
Right.
I know they're real. I know they're somewhere. I don't know if there's a heaven or a hell, but they're somewhere in time and space, protecting all of us. Some people, because as a kid, you can see some weird shit. And how do you explain that? You can't say, oh, God. But okay, what's the deeper science to it? And if you can't tell me, like a lot of churches, my sister's doing a CBC show called Tales from Churchland right now.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like it's going deep into what these churches do to my
She has,
sister.
like, she's big on like TikTok or something too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, she-
I think
that's
I
where it started.
following her now, yeah.
That's where it started. Like Tales from
Yeah.
Churchland started on TikTok, and she was at my house. She was living there, and she's like, Tales from Churchland, and this is all her trauma right now it's all her trauma that she's been and that I've watched her go through with all these churches. All these churches, like, they say one thing. Like, I'll give you an example. This church in Ottawa, I grew up in, and my sister grew up in. My sister stayed. I was like, fuck this. These guys are crooks. They used to have a school in the church, and they'd make these parents, hey, the best option for your kids to live a righteous life is to have your kids in this church. And these parents believed it because he's a man of God and blah, blah. But little did they all know that the wife was out here running with Doug, and Doug's a black man, and she had a bit of chocolate in her life and had an affair. And like for a few weeks, they broadcast that to the whole entire church. I'm like 9 years old. I'm like, bro, I shouldn't know your business like this.
Yeah.
They told the whole congregation. He squeezed every emotional bit out of them, got all their money, built this like massive church in the middle of
Sounds
nowhere.
like quite the church, man. It's like-
This massive church in the middle of nowhere in Old Montreal Road in New Orleans. And I probably just gave it away there. But I
oh
don't care.
shit.
But when it came time for these kids to graduate from this school, these kids went to apply for college, and they couldn't get in. And the colleges and universities told them, hey, look, your diploma is fake. And so for the church not to be sued by these parents, the church was like, if you want to stay in our congregation and you want to stay in this church, you have to sign this letter from our lawyer that says that you knew that our school wasn't real. And I'm like, yo, some of these kids right now, some of these kids are now adults. They're my age or whatever. And they don't have, and I'm like, yo, you squeezed out the education out of these motherfuckers. I'm like, what the fuck did you teach them? Where's their GED? Where's the diploma saying that they passed high school? They don't have none of that. And my sister went to this church and I went to this church. So it's like, looking back, I'm like, all these kids, and these kids used to make fun of me because I went to a Catholic school and then I went to a public school. And I'm like, and because at the time I liked Pokemon, they're like, all
Shout
these
out
parents,
Pokemon.
yeah, right.
Motherfuckers.
I have the newest one.
Yo, dude, I got a thing just real quick. I got a
Yeah.
thing on my phone. TCG Hub,
Okay.
and it tells you all, like, you
The
take
release?
pictures of your Pokemon and shit
Oh.
of your cards,
Okay.
and it'll give
Tell you how much the value.
Yeah. So
I
I
should
have
probably
like
take out my
basically
Pokemon
have like a
cards.
Pokemon wallet.
Ooh. Okay.
It shows like the value and shit. Yeah, man, it's crazy.
I gotta look into that. I got a bunch of cards in my storage just sitting there collecting dust. But
But yeah, sorry.
yeah,
So you
so
switched to public school.
yeah. So these kids are like, they used to think, I'm the outsider looking in. I'm from the hood. I don't look like everybody else. This church was predominantly Caucasian,
Oh shit.
too. And I'm like, yo, you come to the hood with this church, and you guys are like 99% Caucasian. There's a few like two or three black families, including myself and my sister. So her show is called Tales from Churchlands. It's produced by CBC, and it's just going through every church. And if you have bad experiences with church, or your church did you dirty or something like that, you can, tell your story and all that jazz. And at least, hopefully, these churches will be put into light for the stuff that they have. Like, for me, how you tell a congregation, hey, I know it was my fault, but if you want to stay in this congregation, you're gonna sign this letter saying that you knew about it the whole time, and a lot of people did. And that's the heartening. I'm like, yo, you sold out your children for this dude that you don't even know. You don't know the real. I really want to say his name right now, but I'm like, yo, you don't know this dude.
The real Slim Shady.
Yeah, we'll call him Slim Shady. You don't know the real Slim Shady because Slim Shady's been putting on a show for the last 15 to 20 years of his career. As he got older, his pockets got bigger because you guys are giving 10% as tithe and offering to this man. When who is this guy? I don't know him. I don't know the real Slim Shady. So it's like, I can't. You want to go to church? By all means, go to church. Follow this guy. Sure, he might say he's the holiest of holy, but that means you're not making any decisions for yourself. And this brings me back to what I think it was you I was talking to about. This was our conversation in Inbox, like Canada was never free.
Yeah.
Right. And we talked a bit of it when I got in here. Like, we're taking people's freedoms to choose away. And he was telling me more about that earlier today as well, or when I got here. But you're taking this guy, if we're so free, I'm like, then you should have done the right thing and be like, hey, look, it was my fault. I'm sorry. Let me make this right. Because I infringed my beliefs or my whatever without paying attention on your freedom. Your freedom to have your children have an education. Your freedom to be able to make your own decisions. I've now taken that away from you. And these are minor things compared to what's going on right now in our country. But I mean, like, just that itself, we build a system that allows people to take other people's choices, thoughts, anything that they want to do.
Oh, it's made to take advantage of the masses, like totally.
Like a church, you want to follow God, sure. Buy a Bible, study at home. You don't need a church. A church is a cult in my eyes.
Yeah, man. Over
100%.
COVID, they were fucking doing it over Zoom. So I mean,
like, I've seen some churches stay open during COVID.
Still not gotta like be out there doing that. And they're like, oh, we need new lights at the church.
Why?
No, I don't know. I always notice that though, because like I grew up fucking going to church and shit, right?
Yeah.
Why is everybody giving this guy money? And, like
Right.
like the building's already here, you know?
Like
The fuck?
you get like literally churches get government funding.
And, it's tax free too, right? Like you
Yeah.
don't have to pay taxes.
Yeah.
Exactly. You don't have to pay taxes. You are technically
I guess
getting
it-
grants from the government every year to pay your bills because it's whatever. As long as you can prove it, you have a church, you have a congregation, sure. That means I get it, the tithe and offering part, you know, to keep the building afloat. Shit, this pastor makes over 6 figures a year
Oh shit.
off tithe and offering,
I'm
off
becoming a
the
pastor.
school. Like, right at a point in time, for just pure human decency, you got to be like, if I couldn't be like this, I know that. I get the church is a business.
Yeah, and like
But,
you
like,
gotta like obviously yes.
Let
like,
me sell you gear. I'm not gonna take your
it's
tithe
like
and
an
offering.
admission fee or something to be there or whatever.
Every
but
week.
like but
Every week, I'm
but-
giving 10% of my pay. That's what
oh,
they
it's
tell
gotta
you.
be that's right, you said 10%. That's crazy too. Like
10% tithe and
to
offering
dictate that. Like,
for a holier than thou life.
you
I'm
put,
going
like,
to
$2
tell you you're
bills
gonna
and
have.
shit.
What if I'm like a rapist, bro? You're telling me I can still get to heaven if I just give 10% of my pay every week?
Oh shit.
Right?
It's that easy?
Is it that easy?
Yeah, like
Is that
fuck.
easy? You're going to baptize me in pool juice that you just put in the middle of the building. You're gonna baptize and be
Yeah.
like, you are one with God now,
Just bathe me
motherfucker.
in.
You just bathed me. And you ain't my mom, and you ain't my dad, and I'm a grown ass man, and you just bathed me. I let this man touch me underwater. Why?
Yeah.
It sounds kind of sus, right? I'm a big no church, like religion, fine, but you know, back to what I was saying, like
Well,
I
yeah,
want
we used to pray at my grandma's house before we went to bed. We
Like,
also
weird.
went to church, but I mean,
Ah.
like, I was like, what? Would you know? If we're really gonna do it, I'll just pray before I go to bed or some shit.
I told my mom one day,
Do it at your own leisure.
I thought she was gonna kill me, but little did I know after that day that she was just like me. I was like, Mom, I don't want to go to. I didn't say fucking because I would have got beat. I was like, I don't want to go to fucking church, and she's like, okay, what are you gonna do? I'm like, whatever I want to do. I want to go play ball at the park behind our house. I want to go spend time with friends. Shit, I got football games. I want to prepare for my football game. I don't want to go to church. She's like, you know what? I don't want to go to church either. So we could pray. You gonna pray later? I was like, okay, I will take that. I will take that was a W for me that day. I was like, I don't have to go to church anymore. Shoot, I have a choice. Cause I'd walk in some days because I had cornrows back in the day.
Yeah.
I had cornrows. My pants are low now. My pants were hella low back then with a large T-shirt, and I would walk to church like that. I'm like, yo, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Because it's down the street. You put this tiny church in a strip mall in the middle of the hood, and it's like this little upstairs. I'm like, yo, I'm not getting dressed for you. I'm gonna. And these kids, they're in their polos, they're in their T-shirts. I'm like, yo, if the white kids could do it, why can't I? I'm going in my street attire. I'm going in my large tee and my baggy pants and my and ones. Let's go.
And once
Yeah.
name
Yeah.
drop.
Name drop and one mixtape. So when I used to be like a heavy basketball player, yeah, man.
Yeah, man. You know
And
what?
ones.
I follow that fucking the professor.
The professor, I follow him.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
randomly found him one day. I was like, shit, this guy.
Yeah, I remember him. I remember when he was just coming out in the N1 mixtapes. This was like 2001.
Yeah.
2002 when N1 was such a big thing and the shoes were high. Foot Locker had the whole stack.
Yeah.
Yo, I need these in blue. I need these in red. They had them in gold. They had every colorway possible, and I didn't even know what colorway was back then. I'm like, I need a pair of these and I need a pair of these because I need a match. I need to wear one shoe and the other shoe for game days.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Yeah, that's a big thing. They don't do that no more.
Yo, my buddy, he actually got like you're talking about wearing like 2 different shoes.
2 different color shoes. Like,
Yeah.
I went
That
to-
was old. That was like old school. Like
yeah,
So these guys, man, they were snowboarders. So they bought fucking. One of them bought one set of bindings. They were the same bindings, but just different colors.
yeah.
So one bought one and one bought the other. So then they switched the binding.
Yep.
So then they bought the same pair of boots and then they just switched a boot. And then they
Yeah.
had the fucking exact opposite fucking
I tried
foot.
doing that in basketball with one of my teammates, and I hated the fact that I had to give back a used shoe that's not my shoe, and I had to receive back a used shoe.
Yeah.
So at a point in time, I was just like, we ain't switching.
Oh, they just did it for good. Like that was just their setup now.
Even
but,
if like,
but like you did, you just buy both of them and just do it yourself.
yeah, I did that
Yeah,
after.
yeah.
I told my mom, I'm like, yo, because I was working at McDonald's at the time. I was like, yo, mom, I need more shoes. She's like, what do you mean you need more shoes? I was like, well, I don't want to keep switching with my team. She's like, just wear your shoes. I was like, no. I'm like, mom, it's a thing.
It's cooler.
Yeah.
I gotta be. She never seen me play 1 minute of basketball in my teen years because she's a teacher. So she was always like, I gotta be at the school. I can't be at your basketball. I'm like, mom, you don't understand. I gotta be fly when I'm on the court. You know, I gotta have my headband a certain way. I gotta have my shoes done up a certain way. I gotta have the mix match because sometimes when I got to Colonel By, we were green and blue. So those were our colors, green, blue, and white. So I'd have an all white shoe for when we wore white, and then I'd have an all blue shoe and all green shoe. I don't really rock blue, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
But and then every so often let's wear green jersey and blue shorts. So I'd have one of the shoe, like one of each of the shoe. I'd share with a teammate, and did this at Leicester B too. We were gold, I think. Yeah, those uniforms were nasty. They didn't look good. They over accentuate. They were tight. You remember like in
Oh, good
02,
stuff.
03, the shorts were small and the shorts were tight, and yeah, wasn't a good look. It wasn't a good look for me. It wasn't
Back when it was like baggy shorts.
like Iverson came into play, and I started wearing two shorts. So I wore one short that was like the regular, and I'm like, yo, coach, I need another pair of shorts. And he was like, what? I'm like, I need another pair. He's like, why? I'm like, these shorts, the ones that you gave me, look, they're like hugging my shit. I'm like, I can't have that. I can't have people looking at my shit while I play. I'm like, no, it needs to be baggy. He's like, why? I'm like, I need an extra large. And I was wearing like a medium. I'm like, I need an XL because I'm like, I'm not going
tight.
tight. Boom, get on the court. Because now all you seeing, if you see my ass, all you seeing is gold. So I'm like, gold on gold. I'm like, cool. At least this way the ref can't say shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to play like I was playing outdoors. Something about having it at your waistline just didn't feel comfortable. I think everything was like squished in my area. I was like, every so often, I'm like, yo, pull my shorts down. I'm like, I can't do this. I don't know how people do this with like actual like shorts. Like I seen Bronny play. I watched one of his games last week, and this man's shorts are
They're
shorts.
starting to go back to shorts.
Yeah.
Shorts.
Yeah.
I'm like, I understand you're wearing like your leggings under, sure, whatever they're called. They're called leggings.
Yeah.
They're leggings.
Yeah, they are.
Compression
Compressed-
stockings
Compression
or something
pants.
or whatever.
No,
yeah.
my dude, you're rocking leggings.
Yeah.
They have different designs now. I can
Oh, yeah.
literally walk around my house with those on. I'm like, yo, technically they're pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can walk in the gym like this. Why can't I walk outside like this? All you girls do it. I don't know if I want to. You know, they're very tight. But if I was that kind of man,
Yo.
sure.
I'm telling you.
Well, what
This
position
girl on
did
the
you play?
fucking
Oh, sorry.
Stairmaster was
Sorry?
wearing them pants. What'd you say?
What
Sorry, man.
position did you play?
In basketball, I play point guard.
Okay.
Yeah, I was short.
You got hands?
Ran that.
I like to
ran that
steal.
offense.
That's not because of the skin color I am. You know what I'm saying? No, that was a bad joke. A bad joke.
Oh, that was a good joke.
I don't know.
It's better when you make it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played point guard because I was short, and I didn't really like point guard, and because I didn't want to. You got to remember how it plays. You got to run the floor.
Yeah, there's a
I'm
lot
so
going
used
on.
to. Yeah, like
You're the manager.
for me, when I got on the court, I was like, I got one job: this ball and that hoop.
Yeah, yeah.
Any which way I could do it, I'll pass it. I used to try to imitate Allen Iverson.
Yes,
Even
sir.
though Iverson was like 6 foot and I'm sitting there like 5'1" in high school, and I'm like, all right, shoot, in between two defenders, can I get it? And 90% of the time, some of these tall dudes are like 180, 190 pounds. I'm like 120 pounds. They're like, coof, and I go flying.
Yeah.
I didn't know when a pit bull just doesn't know when to quit. I was like that on the court. Like, I would run into you. If it was a screen, I'm trying to knock you over. I know I'm getting the charge call anyway. So if you're in my way and I'm on my way to the hoop, I'm going to take you down anyway. Any which way I can. I'm a small dude. I did the same thing in rugby and did the same thing in football. I'm like, I know I'm smaller than you, so I'm gonna do whatever I can to go the fuck through you. One of us is gonna quit, and I know it's not gonna be me. But like, there's some dudes out there. My boy Ron used to play for the Red Blacks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and play. I think he played for the Tie Cats too. And we used to play on the same team, so we practiced together. And one day, I get through the D line because I played running back, so I get through the O line and the D line, and I go under, and then I look up, and all I see is black. And it's just him, and I get rocked. He just bends, poof, and I bend in half, and I'm down on the ground. I'm like out.
Yeah.
He was a beast. We were like, I don't know, 15, 16, and he was like 6'2". 220 pounds. It was just like brick solid muscle. I don't know what this guy did. This guy was from Africa. I don't know what he did. Shit. I don't know what you're eating. But whatever you're doing, holy shit, put me on that regiment because like this kid was jacked at 15, 16 years old and he's playing with the rest of us. And I'm like, do I have to? Do I have to play with this dude? Do I have to practice with this dude? Because I'm getting hurt. I can't play next week if he keeps hurting me like this. So it was interesting to see, but yeah, man.
Oh, so you played rugby too?
Yeah, man.
That's crazy, man. That's the one. That's pretty wild. Without you're like no equipment, right?
No equipment, man.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
One of the games I was at Colonel By. We were playing against Korean Sir Wilfrid Laurier. They had this big fat black guy. And he was in the ruck, and they would give him the ball, and he would just go. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, yo, you guys are twice my size. Somebody just get him at the legs. And he was 30, 40 yards bulldozing through people because people are trying to hit him here. And I'm like, fuck it. Run across the field, dive at his knees, and all of a sudden, this 300-pound dude is pancaking me. And I'm like, well, fuck. I'll take one for the team because we were about to lose the game. We were one try away from losing the game. Huh?
Way she goes.
That's the way. I've done some stupid shit in rugby. Separated both shoulders. I got carpal tunnel now in my wrist because I got a cleat in the winter.
Yeah.
Practicing, got a cleat in my hand.
Huh.
They make you run like 2-3. Like our coach in Brampton made us run like 2-3 miles. No, up to 5 miles in the cold in February. He's like, rugby season's coming. I'm like, well, it's not here yet. There's no snow on the ground. It's still like mid-February. It's cold in Brampton in February.
I bet.
And this 5 miles. Let's go every morning. I'm like, yeah, this is not worth it.
No,
It's not worth it. I still did it, but like, yo, I don't know who does this. Who trains in the winter like this?
You guys.
If it's
Yeah.
if it's
Fuck,
lower than plus 14, it's not for me.
yeah.
It's not for me. I gotta go back to Haiti.
Yeah,
man.
man. Fuck.
Hey, hit the
I
islands.
played a little
Going
bit of
back to
football,
Haiti.
but I was I know I never really had the opportunity to play rugby. Otherwise, I wouldn't have played. Or I mean, had the opportunity, I wouldn't have played anyways.
Really?
But that's wild shit.
Yeah, man, but it's fun.
I played like
Oh, it's-
hockey and
it's
stuff.
fun.
It's you and the dude in front of
football,
you.
but, like,
And you're like, you don't have any
aggressive.
choices. It's you and the person in front of you. Or
And you
is
can
he
either-
gonna hit you and you're gonna fall, or you gonna hit him and you're gonna plow right through him? Pause.
that ball.
But fuck. One of my friends, she catches me all the time. I start talking and I don't notice, and she's just like
yeah.
and I'm like, oh fuck, you got me again, man. It's bad now because she just sits there and the mind's constantly in the gut. And she just sits there. She's like, Fletcher, you know what you just said, huh? I'm like, what I just said. She's like, think about it. I'm like, you
Think
son of a
about it.
bitch, man.
Take a
Yeah.
second.
Take a second. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Shit, man.
I got a single out, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah.
Yeah, I was like, we talked this whole time.
Shit,
I got
yeah.
a single out. It came out last week.
It just came out.
We're doing good on numbers. I'm not really doing promotion right now.
Yeah.
I got a big project coming out. It's all pop.
Oh really?
It's all pop, and it's all
Called
produced
Let
by
Me
me.
Go or
Different
something,
side?
Yeah, like I'm sure you guys have seen my Instagram page. I have
Yeah.
a few like piano songs.
Yeah.
So I've been writing for a few other people, and I've been writing obviously for the stuff that I keep for myself, I try to keep for myself. And all these pop songs, like last year I wrote Butterflies, and people were like, oh, and I was like, yes. And then nothing else came out of it. I wrote a few other songs, and then during my quarantine time in COVID, I wrote like 14 songs. My sister bought me a keyboard for Christmas.
So it's all gonna be a kind of same style.
It's gonna be very poppy.
Yeah.
So like I did Butterflies on her keyboard, and the same way I did that, I'm doing all these other 4 songs, and that's I'm hoping Sony picks that up for distribution. We're in the talks right now for that. They really liked Butterflies, and so did a few other people, and I'm like, well, it's not fully done yet, so once we get the go ahead, we're gonna finish Butterflies. And the whole rest of My Awake, because I think I told you guys before, my whole EP system is on mental health.
Yeah.
So I did Note to South, Escape, and the last one is Awake.
Yeah.
And I've tried to maneuver in different genres all through all 3 of them. And this is the last piece of the pie where I've introduced pop and singing in each one of those EPs. And this one is like the last bit of the trilogy to really set it off. And I think I'm gonna be doing pop for a while.
Yeah, you like it? Yeah.
Like we did a pre-run of what people thought about Butterflies and a few other one. I have one called actually I have it all here. It's called Diamonds in Your Eyes.
Yeah.
And it's like a ballad, and like a few people are like, yo, once it's done, send it to us. We'll see what we can do about getting it into like a movie or something like that.
True.
Getting it synced, because I'm like, yo, streaming is whatever.
And there's a few places you can put your music that it can be selected for shit. Like there's one that's like Netflix will pick your shit up.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like
I know TikTok does it now. Like you can put your stuff on TikTok, you can upload your song, and people can use that sounds, and then you can get branding deals through it, and then you can be synced into whatever, to Netflix, whatever. There's a guy in Toronto I use. His name is Mark Berry.
okay.
He's a producer. He produced a lot of rock albums in the 90s, a lot of stuff in the early 2000s. He has a few. The Far From Home Drake documentary was produced by him, and so he wants to pick up the EP and push
shit.
it really. So we're hoping that we can
Shout out Mark
finalize something.
Berry.
Sorry?
I said shout out Mark Berry.
Shout out Mark Berry. Like one of his clients just got shouted out by Neo,
Oh,
so
yeah.
he's pulling up some
Shit.
traction. He worked with Tory for a bit. He's in Toronto, so
Yeah.
all
Okay.
usually major Toronto artists. He did the Spider-Man 3 soundtrack production. So he has a bunch of plaques. He did one of Beyonce's albums. Yeah, go search him up, Mark Berry. He's a good dude. So right now we're just trying to figure out whether it can get done, and if it gets done, it's gonna be a big project.
Nice, man.
I want to spend some loot and see if I can get a choir in there. I'm in my Kanye
Oh,
mode right
shit.
now.
Yeah,
I want to
yeah,
do
yeah.
something funky. I want to do something weird, because we have the same sound coming from Ottawa, and 1 second. Yeah, we have the same sound, generally speaking, right? We don't really have boom bap anymore. It's more so like mainstream hip hop, like rap, like what 2 Times doing. A big shouts out to him, because he's really
Yeah.
moving.
Yeah.
Shout out to Linda's son, because he's moving right now too.
Who's this?
Linda's son. They have a track together now.
Linda's son.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like the name sounds familiar, but I'm not sure.
He's moving right now. Leah Cloud too is moving, but yeah, predominantly coming out of the underground, a lot of the same sound. And what happened, I don't even call myself a rapper anymore. I'm not a rapper, I'm not a singer, I'm an artist, right? So
Yeah.
I like to make music that gives you a feeling. If it's gonna be singing, it's gonna be singing. If it's gonna be rapping, it's gonna be rapping. If it's literally gonna be like like I'm gonna do that the whole track.
Yeah.
Obviously, like if I do that, then
That's
you know
what
something's
works.
wrong with Fletch. Call me up and be like, yo, I heard your last track where you like quacked for a whole 3 minutes. Are you okay? Like, what kind of acid are you taking, bro? Like, Yeah,
But-
if I caulk on a whole song,
I'll
please.
call you out.
Yeah, or like
Well,
what I
mean,
did at
personally,
Future,
like, privately.
or do what Future did. La la di da, slum. And like if I do that for like a good portion of my verse, please just call me. I'll be like, yo,
Yeah.
Fletcher, you okay? Are you okay? You smoke something you're not supposed to smoke? So
yeah,
man.
but no, fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
You want to spit some bars for us or what?
Hey,
Why not? Why
Yeah?
not? Yeah. Let's do this.
got him.
You got him, yeah. Got another one.
All right. Pull up a beat here.
Now you got that in my head. So I know. Oh man, okay, wait. You guys know this shit? Oh man. Oh, one sec. Oh, wait.
Hold on. Hello? Where we at? Oh, you want to know where I'm at? We out.
Side.
So fucking, I was going to pick. It's like this little eggs or little AGZ or whatever. I don't know. I think it's little eggs.
Okay.
But he's like this little kid, and like, so I'd always see him, and like, he's just like little white kid, and he's just like talks very like ghetto or whatever.
Okay.
You know? I don't know. Like he's just like, but so then he's like, and then he'll always be like swagged out and shit. Like he's a rapper basically. You know what I mean? Like he's anyway. So then he's like, I just kept seeing the people making reels and like TikToks and stuff, and I was like, man, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what is that from? And I've never seen it. It's just that I didn't know. But then I saw the fucking video, and it's like him doing it, and I was like, oh man, yeah. So anyways, I was going to pick up my brother, and fucking I sent him a picture of like a store like near his house so that he'd know that I was like near his house. And then I was like, oh my god. I'm like, I'm gonna send him that clip whenever I get to his house. And so I literally went on the fucking internet, googled it, found the fucking video, fucking cut the clip, like screen recorded it, sent him that clip. Yeah, fuck. But
That's a good one.
sorry.
We outside.
We outside.
All right.
You got a beat there, Jonesy?
Yeah, I think we can use these beats.
Drop.
Copyrights.
Drop.
Copyrights.
Yeah, that's one thing we gotta worry about.
It's what's his name? Or I mean, are they? Knock knock.
Who's there?
No, I don't think so. I think
Knock knock.
about beats. Music.
Knock knock.
Oh, no. Makes beats, right?
Yeah. He said that some at one point. And then we have
Shout outs to Knock Knock.
some other ones. Yeah, shout out knock knock.
All right. Well, let's see if this one works.
Noetic Productions, bringing that heat.
That was real loud.
It's a bit loud though.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry. I don't know what's going on here.
which one are you? This one's me.
Dun dun dun.
Loud? Loud enough?
It's a bit loud, but like.
Alright.
Is that?
Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
And I can pick a different beat too if you want a different beat.
Actually, let's go to the next one. This one's a bit like. I feel like if I spit something, might be depressed after. Yeah. I got 40 racks in my pocket. Bad bitch, stop it. Smoke that reefer and pass it. That Dutchie, I got fruit freaks in a Lambo. doing it with a chain though. Smoking up till I'm red out. You know all that I be smoking, cause she wanna lick this beat. She wanna get this cream, lick to the center. You know what I mean with that G. I'm FLETCHERG. You better understand me. I'm smoking all that reefer, man. You better understand. When I come around your block, you better have all that guap, all that hot, all that pop. Soak it up, roll it up. Man, I'm a keeper. Ooh, she's wanna smoke reefer. Okay. Yeah, better understand about me is I make money. I got too many honeys, they fucking love me. All I wanna do is live by myself in the street. Yeah, drive my car, and smoke my weed. Yeah, I don't understand how she wrote. I don't understand how she goes. She wanna smoke the low and she wanna get the dough. She wanna back that ass up on the low. She wanna pop it up like it's 6'4". Do it while I cream it. She want. Okay. We got something else?
Yeah.
We got something else? I'm like, yo.
All right. Let's see what else we got. See what else we got. Oops. Where's that? Let's try this one.
Yeah. Why you try to rock? Why you try to roll? I don't understand why you trying to get me for show. Yeah. I go and she do it right. I smoke reefer, yeah, that's right. I just tryna get me like she get me after every night. Ooh, she freak it, lick it while she stick it. I just wanna see if I can get up in your batch, and baby girl, you Kylie Jenner. Ooh, you kinda finer. I wanna get inside yourself like Travis. Ooh, can I be your baby daddy too? I got a few kids you can have if you want them, it's cold. I just wanna let you know you can babysit all my kids on the low. Put it in your favorite place. Let you taste a lot of it, baby. It's baby, it's exquisite. Feel it when she hit it. I know that you wanna lick the top like a lollipop. Ooh, I'm wheezy. Get me rockin', baby. Wheezy up, baby, while I sleep in the Mercedes, baby. Watch out while I roll up. Everything while I top out. She wanna call me when I hop out, and I skirt, and I fuck that. Ooh, baby girl, what's my name? She just wanna freak, cause I'm about to get paid. Ooh, yeah. I don't understand why you talk shit. Real low, real hoe, she a real dope. I do all that for sure. Like, damn, I love me a freak from the fucking country that knows how to cook my meat and beat it at the same time. Like, I ain't even gonna lie. Damn, baby girl, you best know this is Fletcher fucking Jizzle. Not a little, a lot. You better understand, if your ass ain't got that big, I'm gonna make it that big with some back shots, like, on the reels. She got it. She got it. She got it. I put my face in there. She got it. She got it. She got it. Ooh. Laid out. Spread out on the floor while I mac out. I don't do no fake chow. I just mash out. Watch me on my white clef. Ooh. Watch me. Yeah, I'm good. I'm high. So like,
Man, that was sick.
That was dope for sure.
I like the
That was
Kylie
fire.
Jenner
It's not
thing
working.
too. I was like, shit, yeah, that was like a callback. We were talking about it
Yeah.
earlier too.
yeah. Fuck, man. Shit.
Oh,
I always have fun when I come.
Fucking right, man. Yeah, man. It's always an experience when you're here, man. Fucking right.
I'm like the first time you guys got me way too high. Like I remember
Man.
that. I sat here and I was just like, And my brother was tapping me. He's like, "Yo, Fletch, talk." I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, man. I remember. Actually, that's like a lot of people say that. Like, oh man, yeah. First time I was there, or fucking every time I'm there.
I learned my lesson.
It's
I learned my lesson. I'm like, yo, Fletch, you need to be like on point where you could talk and not just like.
Shit. No, it's true though too. Because even sometimes I find myself, I'm like, oh shit, man. Like, you smoked one too many joints that night or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Fuck.
sure.
But yeah, no, man. We appreciate you coming through,
Thank you
man.
for having me, man.
Fucking, thanks for spitting some bars.
No
Actually,
problem.
I think we have a new question to the
Actually,
fucking.
Yeah, I was gonna pose you with the question of, do you think there's more doors or wheels in the world?
Ooh, actually,
He knows.
So,
He
when
knows.
we mention wheels, are we talking anything that's circular? Let's say like a watch has what they call a wheel, which is just a circular thing that makes the handles move.
Right.
Are we talking about
Weird.
like things that are not wheels that are called wheels, or are we talking about just like wheels on a car?
I don't know.
Or
I'm
like
trying to
remember
say,
think
I
about this like a Ferris
wheels-
wheel.
I think wheels that like.
Because a
roll on
Ferris
something, but
wheel
it's
has
hard to
wheel
say,
in it,
right?
in the
Yeah,
name.
yeah.
That is a
right?
true-
Hard to
that's a
So
good
are we
point.
talking about like everything that has a wheel in it, or that's considered in its genre a wheel?
Well, and even my buddy was talking about cupboards and stuff for doors, and I was like, "Oh, true." And he's like, "Man," he's like, "Think of like you have like a dollhouse. There's more doors, like whatever, right?"
Yeah,
And
cupboards
I
are
was like,
doors.
I think that like it's a door, something you can like walk through, and like a wheel, something that like rolls something around or something. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
If
just
we go
to-
by your
to
definition,
try and keep it that way,
to
or
keep it
whatever,
simple.
or like
I think there's probably more doors than there are wheels.
yeah.
Yeah, the amount of apartments, the amount, because if a door is something that you walk through, there's a
Transport
entrance
trucks.
and an exit for every apartment building. Now you have a front door, a closet door, because you can get in and get out of that motherfucker. Trust me, that's how people get caught cheating. There is a washroom door, and based on your type of apartment or house, you're gonna have a lot more doors and openings to go in and out of. Pause. Damn.
bedroom doors.
Yeah, you have a lot more doors to go in. Oh, God damn, I did it again. I can't even say enter. Yeah, to walk through and exit. That still is bad, but who cares? You still have all those different opportunities within a house or an
Yeah.
apartment, rather than, hey, a wheel.
Like the
I might have.
veranda door, like the sliding, what do you call it, patio door, or whatever.
Yeah, those. Some of those have wheels. The old school ones have wheels,
Yeah. Oh,
quote unquote.
true,
Those are
there you go,
wheels, right?
Yeah.
I'm like,
True, yeah.
so it depends on the person's definition of wheels. But if we're going by your definition, I think there's more doors.
You got like
You-
skateboards and like
Oh God, yeah, skateboards,
lawnmowers.
motorcycles,
bro.
Hot Wheels. Shit, there's thousands of Hot Wheels.
Yeah,
Tiny.
little model cars. In
But I
general.
mean, then if you're going
Right.
with like every little fucking like
Well, like a dollhouse has a lot
little
of doors.
fucking door that you know, like or like a little like you like open something up and there's a little latch inside, you know, like there's another door, you know. Then
That's
then
true.
it's like because even my buddy's like, man, you think about
Do we
the
classify
trunk of a
sliding doors
car,
to have
the
wheels as a
trunk of
wheel?
a car and a fucking and a glove box. I'm like, yeah, I don't really know if it's a door though. Like
Right.
it's hard to say. Like, what would you like? You know, where does it end and where does it begin?
yeah,
Yeah. But you know,
tough call.
do we classify a sliding door that has wheels wheel or door?
If it
I don't
had
know.
a wheel,
I guess it's hard to say.
Do we
There
do we
would be
because
a
if
door
we had to
Always-
pick one,
that
if we had to
had
pick one,
wheels, like,
right? Are we classifying that door as a wheel, or are we classifying that door as a sliding door?
It's a door, but it has a wheel.
It's like
It's
shoes
like
that the
a wheel.
wheelies.
It's
The
like a
wheelies have a
car.
wheel in them.
Yeah.
It's like a
Are they
car.
shoes or are they rollerblades?
I had a
Like-
dream I got a pair of those.
They're called, what were they called? Heelys?
Heelys, yeah.
Heelys, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
I
just
can't
sparked
use my
that memory
face.
now.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, that
Yeah.
was facial recognition?
Yeah, man, it wasn't. Some days it just doesn't like me. It's just like, no, Fletch, fuck you.
Yeah.
Put in your code,
You don't
because I
look
know
like-
you're gonna forget it.
You don't look like yourself today.
Yeah, I ate too much last night. Drank too much. I look like groggy. The
Yeah.
facial recognition, like, nigga, you don't look good. You ain't getting in this phone. You better hope you remember your 6-digit PIN for your phone, or else you ain't getting in this bitch. Whatever you had going on in this phone ain't happening today. So,
Shit, man. Well, I'm glad you're well.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming through.
Yeah, man.
Thank you,
It was a
man.
good-
It's always a blessing for you guys to have me. So
Fucking
I
right. Yeah,
appreciate
exactly.
it.
Yeah, man. Fucking right. I like that attitude,
Yeah,
man.
it's always a blessing. It's always a
Seriously,
blessing.
yeah.
You know, I there's a few other podcasts in the city, and they do their thing. You know, you guys can have anybody on. You guys, you know, we had a discussion, and you guys
Yeah.
asked me to come on. Same thing if somebody else. I always say thank you because I'm not important. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, yeah, I
in the
guess,
grand
yeah.
scheme of things, whatever I have to say is my own opinion, and it doesn't really matter. You know, to the masses. I'm not at the.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What you guys might say I have interesting or whatever I brought up today, or whatever Fletcher G has to say today is okay for me, is okay for the people around me, but on a grander scale, it doesn't really matter. So I always say, you know, wherever I go, wherever I do an interview, wherever it's a blessing to be on because I talk a lot of shit. Let's be real.
Yeah.
And whatever I have to say doesn't always
Speak your
line
mind.
up. You know, it doesn't always line up. You know, I find out in my 30s, I'm on my Kanye-esque mode. You know, I believe,
I like
yeah,
that.
I believe what I believe in. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. And you know, after watching his documentary, I got it. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
I'm in the same position. I do a lot of shit. I'm okay, but you know, when people put my name in the conversation with some Americans that I you know grew up with, rapping with, this and that, even though we were across the border, like it's a space in between us, and I'm like, yo, what makes these motherfuckers are saying more important than what I'm saying? The only difference is I'm not talking about guns, like maybe here and there. But like
Yeah.
their songs about guns, their songs about violence and this and that. I'm like, no. I just want to make people shake their asses. That's it. Let's have a good time. Let's smoke some weed. Let's like this is a girl with a big old booty. Like clap
Yeah.
them cheeks, please. I want to see it. You know, you come to a concert, like be in the front row. Please.
Yeah, clap for me.
I want to be distracted for like 0.2 seconds and be like, I forgot my lyrics because that ass fat. You know what I'm saying?
Some stickers
Thank
too,
you.
by the way, man.
I still
Shit.
have the other red ones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Hell yeah,
Just
man.
collecting them.
You got some
Hell
fucking
yeah.
Shit.
sticking to do.
All right.
No, I
well,
got to.
fucking
Fucking
have a
right,
good
man.
weekend, brother.
Thank you.
We'll
Happy
get some
Easter.
pictures and all that
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
Hell
after. And anyways, gang, it's
been
Fletcher
real.
G.
You know
At
what it
it's
is.
Fletcher G on
Yeah.
Instagram.
You
Check
know what
him
it
out.
is. I'm on
Projects
TikTok too. I
coming
act a fool on
through
TikTok.
soon. What is it?
I act a. It's Fletcher G on TikTok.
Oh, it's
I
still
act
the
a
same?
fool on TikTok too. It's not about music. I do comedy shit on TikTok just because
Yeah.
you know
Oh, shit.
I want to. I'm in my 30s. Let's act stupid.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, man. Fucking
Let's have
right.
some fun.
Be silly, man.
Yeah, right. You know,
Yeah.
you can't take it like too
Good for the
seriously.
heart.
Yeah, man. If it
Shit,
picks up, it
makes
picks
you
up.
a
I don't
lot
give a fuck
longer.
about no TikTok, but like I act a fool on TikTok.
Yeah.
You know, might as well. Shoot, ain't nobody gonna
right.
judge me on it because all these other motherfuckers are acting a fool on TikTok, shaking ass and doing other shit that I don't do. Talking about sex.
I don't
You know what I'm
do
saying?
Yeah. I don't clap no cheeks.
No, I don't clap no cheeks, please.
Yeah, not my own.
No.
Yes, sir.
Anyways, on that note, any motherfucking way, gang. Happy Friday. Have a good weekend. Shout out James Collins from Pure Love Foundation. Go check them out. And shout out your sister at CBC with what's
shout
it
out to
called?
Rose Ingrid. Tales from Churchland. Make sure it's gonna come out. During the filming process, but like follow her on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like if you have me on Instagram,
Like I
follow
said,
me
I
on
got
Instagram.
her from last time you were mentioning her, so I've put her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has thoughts on the ball. That's a big one too. That's a
Yeah.
big one. Follow her on her Instagram. Follow her on her TikTok. She acts a fool as well. Like I guess it runs in my family. Once you hit 30, you go kind of crazy and you act a fool. So yeah. Follow up. Watch us act a fool on TikTok and talk shit about some churches.
All right.
Nice.
All right.
Let's go.
That's it. Be safe, everybody. I'm Sal's the Prophet.
I'm B Show.
I'm Jonesy.
4G Audio Podcast. That's us.
Catch
Peace
y'all
out.